Then.
Me too, but I'm not moving it.
Use your... Uh-oh.
What?
Getan.
In Casino reinstecken und du hast immer noch nicht dein Ziel erreicht. Es gibt kein Ende bei Casino. Das ist halt eines der größten Problematiken. Du kannst so reich sein, wie du willst. Du kannst so wohlhabend sein, wie du willst. Dir kann es unglaublich gut gehen.
Ja, und es gibt auch immer wieder neue Packs. Es gibt ja irgendwie dann auch Jumbo-Packs oder sowas, die rauskommen oder irgendwelche anderen Special-Packs so. Und ich meine, das ist ja halt einfach die Sucht, so zu wissen, okay, jetzt zum Beispiel, jetzt gibt es so ein Jumbo-Pack, da kriege ich für mein Geld viel, viel mehr und da sind auf jeden Fall krassere Sachen drin. Das triggert das ja auch. So, weiß nicht, er bricht das halt so weit runter, weil er dieses ganze Thema einfach nicht versteht. So, Bruder, alleine, wenn du diese Packs öffnest, wie die geöffnet werden, wenn du einen krassen Spieler bekommst. So, du gehst durch einen Tunnel, Digga, dann kommt Land, Verein, dann weißt du vielleicht schon ungefähr, wie es ist, Digga, dann kommen da so Funken nach oben, der Spieler läuft raus, so, es kommt krasse Musik, du wirst richtig dafür gefeiert vom Spiel, dass du das hast, die Karte erscheint im Hintergrund, ich glaube sogar nicht alles gleichzeitig, wenn das so eine krasse Karte ist, so, und ja, dann kommt die Enttäuschung, so, und dann, wenn du da was Gutes siehst, Bruder, dein Gehirn ist auf 180, das denkt sich so, Junge, ich bin der Geilste, so, und das sind alles Faktoren, die jetzt zum Beispiel gar nicht mit einberechnet, alles, was er sagt, ist, naja, Digga, also du hast ja irgendwann bei FIFA dein Ziel erreicht.
Aber es wird nie ein Stopp kommen. Du wirst immer süchtig danach sein. Bei FIFA ist es so, wenn du keinen Bock mehr auf das Spiel hast, dann ist diese Sucht nach Packs öffnen auch verschwunden danach. Aber bei Casino hast du das nicht.
Digga, okay, gut. Sagen wir mal, also ja, an sich hat er wahrscheinlich recht, wenn du FIFA nicht mehr spielst, wirst du auch keine FIFA-Packs mehr öffnen. Bruder, weißt du, wie ein Gehirn funktioniert? Das Gehirn weiß aber trotzdem, okay, wir haben jetzt FIFA-Packs geöffnet und es war ein zufälliger Ausgang, also was man halt bekommt oder nicht. Und ich habe Glückshormone bekommen, wenn man was Gutes gezogen hat. Dieses Gefühl will das Gehirn aber wieder haben. Selbst wenn es dann keine FIFA-Packs mehr sind. Und genau das ist ja auch übrigens das, was ich in meinem Video gesagt habe. Selbst wenn es keine FIFA-Packs sind, ist deine Hemmschwelle, vielleicht mal zu Tipico zu gehen oder Geld beim Casino einzuzahlen, viel, viel geringer. Weil dein Gehirn das schon gewöhnt ist. So, und selbst wenn er dann nicht ins Casino geht, dann geht er vielleicht zum nächsten Spiel. Dann öffnet er vielleicht CSGO-Kisten. Beispielsweise. Und gibt da sein Geld aus. Digga, also wirklich, Bruder, also jetzt so kein Front gegen dich, ne, aber das Video ist so respektlos jedem Spielsüchtigen gegenüber und auch gegen Floppy. Bruder, lösch das. Ich strike dich jetzt nicht oder so, aber wirklich, wenn du Ehre hast, Digga, dann lösch das Video, ehrlich,
das sind
also...
völlig verschiedene Sachen.
Preiscent wert ist, wenn du aber ganz viel Glück hast, dann kannst du vielleicht auch ein Knife, wie wenn du jetzt im Casino spielst. Momentan ist es durch Montana Black und Co. auch wieder cool, CSGO-Kisten zu ziehen. Da kannst du dir eine Schüssel kaufen und kriegst dann random irgendeinen...
Digga, vor allem auch lustig, ich habe da ja da so Handschuhe gezogen, das ist ja schon krass, so Messer und Handschuhe sind das krasseste, außer jetzt vielleicht irgendeine AWP Dragon Snipe oder wie die heißt, Dragonlore, weiß ich nicht, die war früher vor 8 Jahren, wo ich noch Counter-Strike gespielt habe, war die cool. Das war einfach zufällig. Ich wollte einfach irgendeinen Ausschnitt haben. Ich habe irgendwo ins Video reingeskippt und das war genau da, wo er das geholt hat.
Kann sein, dass der 2 Cent wert ist. Wenn du aber ganz viel Glück hast, dann kannst du vielleicht auch ein Knife ziehen, was halt mehrere 1000 Euro wert sein kann.
Das ist dann wieder was anderes, weil hier gibt es tatsächlich richtig Marktpreise etc. Da hast du wirklich etwas in der Hand, was du dann weiter verkaufen kannst und das ist dann schon ein Glücksspiel. Also du kaufst etwas und erhoffst dir dadurch, dass das mehr Geld wert ist, was du dann verkaufen kannst. Das ist dann so über Umwege einfach wie ein Casino.
Auch sowas.
Gut, ich wette, ich weiß nicht, ob das bei FIFA noch geht, aber früher gab es da auch, also ganz früher gab es da Möglichkeiten, auch jetzt zum Beispiel, wenn du Ronaldo hast, den auch für Echtgeld halt zu verkaufen, ne, über so dubiose Seiten. Früher konnte man sich auch Coins und so weiter holen, ne, das geht glaube ich alles nicht. Hat er gesagt, dass FIFA kein Glücksspiel ist, ja. Also, so ungefähr hat er das gesagt, ja.
Ist halt ganz klar Glücksspiel. Was ich damit sagen möchte, Glücksspiel fängt nicht da an, wo jemand 100 Euro bei Tipico investiert.
Boah, ich habe übrigens auch ein Knife, ne? Boah, jetzt will ich eigentlich wissen, wie viel wert das ist.
Casino läuft, sondern das Ganze hat
Kann ich aber nicht machen, ne?
Viel,
Ich überhaupt
viel
angemeldet?
früher. Heutzutage wirst du überall mit solchen Elementen konfrontiert. Denn Spielentwickler haben selber mitbekommen, dass du damit die Leute wirklich komplett ausnehmen kannst. Wie viele Berichte gibt es, dass Leute im CSGO oder FIFA ihr komplettes Geld investiert haben, weil sie halt nach diesen Sachen süchtig geworden sind?
Ja, also wie gesagt, begrenzt. Sehr begrenzt.
Nein, nicht begrenzt, Bruder. So funktioniert das. Digga, es gibt zum Beispiel auch eine App, die habe ich lustigerweise mal gespielt. Es gibt so eine Eye of Horus App. Da kannst du halt einfach kostenlos, kannst du halt einfach da drehen am Automaten halt, ne? Eye of Horus halt. Ich weiß nicht, ich habe immer so, das war irgendwie 2017 oder so, da habe ich das so mal gemacht, wenn ich nichts zu tun hatte. Einfach nur, weiß nicht, wenn ich jetzt irgendwo gewartet habe, weißt du, einfach wie heißt das denn? Ja, so Reize fürs Gehirn setzen. Ich habe ADHS, ich muss immer irgendwas machen. Und sowas zum Beispiel, als ich süchtig oder so, ich habe schon gemerkt, so manchmal so, man hat schon gerne gespielt und hat sich auch schon aufgeregt, wenn man dann irgendwie keine Freispieler so bekommen hat. Aber sowieso, also ich weiß nicht warum, das größte Abzockspiel ever, Bruder. Ich habe da auch, also konntest du mal bis zu 200 Euro einstellen, dann 2 Euro Einsatz, nie was bekommen, wirklich. Obwohl das ja sogar, das ist halt einfach eine App, wo das nicht mal um Geld geht, so. Die könnten auch die Chance erhöhen, um einen süchtiger zu machen. Aber Bruder, ich habe locker wie 500 Mal das gedrückt, nicht einmal Freispiele bekommen. Aber sowas zum Beispiel, da habe ich ja auch kein Geld investiert. Aber trotzdem setzt du ja diese Reize beim Gehirn. So, und genau das gleiche passiert ja bei FIFA-Packs auch. So, du musst nicht zwingend mit Echtgeld spielen. Deswegen gibt es doch auch in jedem Casino, also Online-Casino, die Möglichkeit mit Spielgeld zu spielen, um dich anzufixen. Die sagen halt so, ja, ey, wenn du einfach, probier einfach mal aus, Bruder, hier, ne, kostenlos, Bruder, mach einfach mal, dreh ein bisschen. So, und irgendwann, wenn du dann vielleicht mal 2-3 Mal Glück hattest und einen großen Gewinn geholt hast, denken sie so, boah, Digga, das ist schon geil, Digga, jetzt investiere ich halt Geld. Ja, was soll ich euch sagen,
also,
Jungs?
Du kannst in FIFA relativ schnell dein Ziel erreichen, was du bei Wettsucht und Casinosucht niemals erreichen kannst.
Wenn 10.000
Nein, kannst du nicht. Sorry. Man merkt einfach, dass er, glaube ich, noch nie FIFA gespielt hat. Oder was heißt hier Ziel schnell erreichen, Alter? Junge, also ich glaube, für ein richtig krasses Team muss zumindest, es war schon so 1.000 Euro oder so ein bisschen, kann ich mir vorstellen. Du ziehst ja so viel Dreck auch einfach. Da kommt natürlich drauf an, ne? Du kannst natürlich, wenn du jetzt jede einzelne Karte dann irgendwie verkaufst und so weiter und da wirklich so das Maximum rausholen möchtest, ja okay, dann geht's vielleicht ganz irgendwie, aber also du brauchst da schon ordentlich Geld auf jeden Fall für, ne?
Leute bei Montana Black zuschauen, wie er da irgendwelche Kisten öffnet die ganze Zeit, dann kann es ebenfalls dafür sorgen, dass die Hürde, selber mit Glücksspiel anzufangen, bei den Zuschauern extrem sinkt. Und wie gesagt, muss es nicht heißen, dass die auf einmal ins Casino laufen, sondern dass sie selber vielleicht 10, 20, 30 Euro in CSGO-Kisten investieren und dadurch die Anfänge einer Spielsucht entwickeln.
Jungs, wisst ihr was, übrigens hier, sorry, das ist jetzt gerade Dings, ich habe mich gerade hier bei Steam online angemeldet. Wisst ihr einfach, was mein krassestes Investment ever gewesen ist? Ich will nur mal gucken, ob das hier funktioniert hat. Ein Kollege meinte vor 10 Jahren oder so, das ist echt schon lange her, ich soll mir ganz viele Kisten kaufen von Vanguard, weil er meinte, die steigen im Preis. Digga, die sind schon 1,42 wert. Digga, okay, das ist krass. Ey, Jungs, ich habe die damals für 4 Cent gekauft. Digga, Junge, guck mal, ach ja, warte. Ey, Junge, ich muss mal irgendwie mit Dings schreiben. Ist da irgendwas krasses drin? Er meinte, da ist irgendeine krasse Seite drin. Guck mal hier, diese ganzen Seiten sind voll mit Vanguard-Kisten. Die habe ich mir damals alle geholt. Für 4 Cent habe ich mir die gesnackt. Junge, Alter. Boah, ist aber ordentlich, muss ich sagen, ne? Kann man hier das nicht sehen, wie das verlaufen ist? Hält sich, ne, seit einem Jahr. Das heißt, viel höher werden die wahrscheinlich nicht gehen, ne? Alle Kistenpreise sind extrem gestiegen. Du hast eine Kiste für 4 Euro. Ja, aber ich habe das halt schon, also ich spiele halt keinen Counter-Strike mehr. Ich öffne auch keine Kisten. Nur die Vanguard-Dinger habe ich mir mal geholt. Mal gucken, was haben wir hier noch? 62 Cent, peinlich. Boah, Junge, Operation, 4,60 Euro. Digga, guck mal, wie viel ich davon habe. Also weiß ich nicht, aber einige auf jeden Fall. Steht das hier? Boah, muss ich die einzeln angeben? Boah, ist ja richtig nervig. Junge, die ist aber echt gut gestiegen. Junge, was ist denn da los? Inflation oder was? Digga, Junge, ich bin einfach reich. Junge, ich sag dem Finanzamt einfach, yo Bro, ihr könnt einfach meinen Steam-Account haben, das passt schon. Ich wollte euch eigentlich nur kurz mein Knife zeigen. Boah, finde ich das überhaupt? Das ist halt so ein langweiliges Knife, ne? Ich hatte so ein, wie heißt denn das? So ein Knife gezogen, wo die Kills dran stehen, aber das ist bei Knife irgendwie nicht so viel wert, weil wann killst du schon mal jemanden mit dem Knife? Dann habe ich das irgendwie für Echtgeld verkauft. Junge, die ist auch krank, ne? Naja, 3,50, ja gut. Ah, hier, Bruder. Junge, das ist schon eine Karambit. Junge, alter Junge! 1200 Euro. Bruder, ich habe das damals für 400 oder 300 oder so. Digga, Junge, ich raste ja richtig aus. Ich muss unbedingt wieder Counter-Strike spielen, glaube ich. Was geht da? Junge, ich habe Retalk, ich habe das, oder für 300 oder 200 habe ich das damals gut. Richtig wenig. Ich habe mein Knife verkauft online und habe dann mir das dafür geholt. Digga, das wusste ich gar nicht. Warte, jetzt ganz, sorry, hat nichts mit dem Video zu tun, aber ich muss hier mal ganz kurz schauen, ob ich noch irgendwelche wertvollen Sachen habe. Kann man das verkaufen? 6 Euro, das ist okay. Ich glaube so, die Asimov, nee, die Asimov, oh, 136 auch gut. Die Bananending, habe ich überhaupt noch krasse Sachen? Ich glaube nicht, ne? Ey, ich habe sogar einen Schlüssel. Ich überlege mir das mal. 14 Euro, 14 Euro. Ne, ich glaube, oh, 30, Junge. Ne, ich glaube, sonst habe ich nichts krasses mehr. Schade. Was mit denen hier? Boah, jo. Ui. Du machst Werbung dafür. Ja, Mann, ich mache Werbung dafür, Kisten zu öffnen, weil das Ding ist, deswegen kann man die ja verkaufen. Es gibt zum Glück keinen Markt, wo man einfach sich das kaufen kann, was man möchte. Mach auf alles, verkauf alles und lösch alles. Denk an die Sucht.
Genau.
Naja, ich werde die halt nicht öffnen, ich behalte die
So
einfach,
wie man
ne?
jetzt den Casinos
Ja, also die Frage ist jetzt, will er damit sagen, dass man leichter dann Wetten spielt oder Casino spielt? Zu so einer Aussage hätte ich gerne eine...
Digga, also, ich komme gerade wirklich nicht drauf klar. Bruder, das Knife ist einfach das wie 5-fache im Wert gestiegen. Was geht?
Studio oder sowas, also,
Alter.
dass man das wirklich irgendwie belegen
Ey, ich
kann.
bin
Das-
so krass, wirklich.
Es könnte natürlich sein, aber vielleicht stimuliert man sich weiterhin dann nur mit diesen Sachen. Weiß ich nicht.
wie man vorwerfen kann, dass sie schuld daran sind, könnte man das gleiche auch bei Trimax und Monte machen, da sie halt dafür sorgen, dass...
Digga, finde ich richtig abgefuckt, diese Aussage. Also ich finde es echt widerlich, dass er das hier so darstellt, als ob das, was Trimax und Montana Black machen, das gleiche ist, was ein fucking Skrulls und ein Orange Monch machen. Nur weil er mit denen jetzt cool ist oder wie? Will er das hier so relativieren, nur weil er jetzt scheiße, also weil er nicht mehr so gut verhält zu Montana Black und Trimax ist? Nutzt er jetzt...
Oder also erstmal, Makoto, danke für den Tier 1 Sub. Also erstmal noch dieses, bin ich cool mit Orange und Skurros. Guck mal, ich kann mal gucken, mit Skurros habe ich, okay, gebe ich zu, am Sonntag das letzte Mal haben wir Sprachnachrichten ausgetauscht. Da ging es aber darum, dass ich ja diesen Tweet gegen Orange gemacht habe und er wollte halt also mit mir darüber reden, weil ich auch gemeint habe, so, jo, hier, ne, du willst halt was von Twitch Konsequenzen haben. Mit Orange, ich weiß gar nicht, wie ich ihn eingespeichert habe. Ach, Kevin Bongo oder so, glaube ich. Keine Ahnung. Kennt ihr noch, Dinges, wie heißt es denn? Diese Bongo-App? Irgendwie habe ich so eingespeichert, keine Ahnung. Das letzte Mal haben wir geschrieben am 9. März. Aber auch nur ganz, ganz kurz so. Und davor am 8. März 2 Nachrichten ausgetauscht, davor am 22. Februar. Oder ich bin mit denen nicht cool, dass ich jetzt mit denen irgendwie abhänge oder mich mit denen irgendwie, keine Ahnung, mit denen die ganze Zeit chatte oder sonst irgendwas. So überhaupt nicht. So, ich gehe auch auf Twitter, gehe ich kaum drauf ein, was die halt sagen. So, also ich weiß nicht, also Orange Monch macht da halt sowieso nichts, das ist halt schon mal das Erste. Und Skurros postet viel, da habe ich aber auch schon gesagt, fühle ich halt nicht. Ne? Auch diese ganzen Andrew Tate Sachen und so, also wirkt so ein bisschen, als wenn er gerade einfach provozieren möchte. So, und fühle ich halt nicht. So, aber das Ding ist, und also mir jetzt halt vorzuwerfen, dass ich das nur mache, um die zu verteidigen, also ich check das halt nicht. Ich weiß halt wirklich nicht, wie er darauf kommt. So, dann, also du bringst nicht ein einziges sinnvolles Gegenargument, wo man sagen könnte, ja okay, da ging es halt wirklich nur darum, jemanden zu verteidigen, sondern du laberst hier halt wirklich einfach Müll, hast keine Ahnung vom Thema Spiel so. So, ist das, was Monte und Trimax machen, genauso schlimm wie das, was Orange machen? Ich würde sagen, schwierig. Ich würd eher sagen, dass Orange und Skurros schon schlimmer sind, auf jeden Fall. Weil die auch richtig halt verpartnert sind und so damit, ne? Also die wollen ja quasi auch Leute halt dazu bringen. Aber trotzdem darfst du das, was zum Beispiel ein Trimax oder Monte macht, nicht unter den Tisch kehren. Denn so funktioniert nun mal einfach Spielsucht. Also ich habe zum Beispiel selber einen Kollegen gehabt, der hat super viel Geld damals, das war auch der mir den Tipp mit den Vanguard-Kisten gegeben hat, der hat super viel Geld in diese Kisten geöffnet für CSGO. So, weil natürlich auch da ist, es gibt halt einen Marktwert, du kannst die Sachen verkaufen, du kannst, ich weiß nicht, wie es heute ist, aber damals konntest du die Sachen super leicht für Echtgeld verkaufen. So, ja, von daher absolut lächerlich, das jetzt so hinzustellen. Und mein Verhältnis zu Trimax ist übrigens, dass ich also gar keinen Kontakt zu ihm habe einfach, also da ist auch kein Beef oder sonst irgendwas. Mit Monte ist an sich alles in Ordnung, so, also ne, wir haben 1-2 Mal geschrieben gehabt, also da ist auch gar kein Beef oder sonst irgendwas. Von daher check ich halt nicht, worauf er hinaus will. Und das ist übrigens genau das, was ich meine, was mich aufregt. So, dieses Hauptsache irgendwie gegen mich schießen können. Oder wirklich, also du verstehst nicht mal, was ich sagen möchte, dann lass es doch, Alter.
Diese Thematik aus, um jetzt die beiden nicht schlecht zu machen? Ich verstehe es nicht, Digga.
Leute ebenfalls mit solchen Sachen in Berührung kommen.
Ja, stimmt, Jomix, genau. Dieser Bruder, also der Bruder von Trimax hat dazu auch ein Video gemacht. Und deswegen hatte Trimax auch aufgehört, zum Beispiel, guck dir das Video an, guck dir das Video von Simplicissimus an. Bruder, die komplette Studienlage spricht für mich und du sagst, ja, der will ja einfach nur die Leute verteidigen. Nein, ich finde, dass wir als Gesellschaft vernünftig mit dem Thema Glücksspielsucht umgehen müssen. Und das fängt nun mal einfach schon an, wenn du CSGO-Kisten öffnest oder irgendwie irgendwelche Kisten in irgendwelchen Apps kaufst. Es ist nun mal einfach so.
Auch davon abgesehen hat zum Beispiel auch ein Montana Black schon sehr, sehr oft seine Tipico-Scheine in seine
Kam das eigentlich, Bruder? Porto gegen Liverpool? Er hat Ergebnis getippt, boah, niemals, oder?
Instagram-Story gepackt. Da waren auch viele große Gewinne dabei, wo er vielleicht aus 500 Euro 5000 gemacht hat. Auch das kann Leute schnell triggern, selbst Geld zu investieren, da man sieht, boah, der hat sein Geld
Hat Monte auf deine Come on my Level? Ach stimmt, Digga, wo Tommy hier war. Boah, gute Frage, ey.
Das will ich auch
glaube
machen.
nicht.
Auch sowas kann halt dann der Anfang einer Spielsucht sein. Man wird heutzutage einfach überall mit Glücksspiel konfrontiert. Das muss nicht mal irgendein Influencer oder irgendein Videospiel sein. Es hat beispielsweise auch jeder Bundesliga-Club einen Wettanbieter als Sponsor. Das sieht man dann zum Beispiel auf dem Trikot oder in der Bandenwerbung im Stadion. In der Halbzeitpause wird ebenfalls sehr viel Werbung für irgendwelche Wettanbieter gemacht. Beispielsweise auch für Tipico, wo dann auch zum Beispiel Vorbilder wie Oliver Kahn dafür werben. In diesem tragischen Tod jetzt irgendwie Casino-Streamern in die Schuhe zu schieben, ist nicht nur respektlos Floppy gegenüber, sondern spielt das Problem der Gesellschaft einfach massiv runter. Kinder...
Also, die wird nicht runtergespielt, die werden Leute, dessen Zuschauer möglicherweise ein ähnliches Schicksal erleiden konnten, darauf aufmerksam gemacht, ey Leute, was ihr macht, ist scheiße, guck mal, hier ist nochmal ein Paradebeispiel. Und zu sagen, jetzt guck mal, aber da, ja, es gibt da auch Leute, die das machen und da auch Leute, die das machen, da Leute auch. Ja, Digga, das kritisieren die auch alle, das kritisiert auch jeder.
Hä? Okay, also er sagt jetzt, ich kritisiere halt auch die anderen Leute, die halt auch Glücksspielsachen posten und er sagt, ja, das kritisieren wir ja auch. Aber also, keine Ahnung, aber wenn das jeder kritisiert, warum ist es dann verwerflich, wenn ich das hier kritisiere? Das schließt sich mir irgendwie gerade nicht so ganz, um ehrlich zu sein. Irgendwie macht das keinen Sinn. So, und ja, also du merkst halt einfach, also ich finde, deswegen habe ich zum Beispiel mir auch dieses Video einmal rausgesucht, um diese ganze Root-K-Thematik einfach mal anzusprechen, weil gerade bei dem Thema merkst du halt deutlich, er will mich einfach fronten, er will gar nichts Positives sagen oder sonst irgendwas, sondern er will mich einfach irgendwie runterdrücken irgendwie. Ich weiß nicht, was auf einmal mit ihm los ist, also jetzt mal ernsthaft, so weil ich halt vielleicht mal nicht mehr auf dich reagiert habe oder so, dann irgendwie anzufangen, nur noch gegen mich zu schießen, ist halt absolut lächerlich. So, du verstehst halt offensichtlich das Video nicht. Es geht nicht darum, Skurrus und Orange zu verteidigen, sondern darum, dass man endlich mal anfängt, vernünftig über Glücksspielsucht zu diskutieren. Das ist ein großes Thema. Was denkst du, warum FIFA-Packs in einigen Ländern wegen illegalem Glücksspiel verboten sind? Oder mehr muss man da doch auch nicht sagen, oder?
Heutzutage bei fast jeder App, bei fast jedem Spiel mit solchen Glücksspielelementen konfrontiert. Influencer glorifizieren das Ganze, indem sie vor Zehntausenden Zuschauern solche Sachen machen und das als was Gutes darstellen. Die Hemmschwelle, irgendwann mal selber damit anzufangen, sinkt natürlich durch sowas bei den Zuschauern. Denn Casino ist vielleicht ein bisschen verrufen, aber ein paar CSGO-Kisten zu öffnen, naja, da ist ja eigentlich nichts dabei, oder? Und ich meine, ein paar FIFA-Packs, mein Gott, was soll da schon passieren?
Also FIFA-Packs würde ich nicht damit vergleichen, wie gesagt, aber diese CSGO-Kisten, das ist schon sehr problematisch, ja, sicher.
Aber wie gesagt, ist das Ganze gefährlich, denn im Gehirn
Ja,
werden die
kennt sich
gleichen
halt nicht
Bereiche
aus,
stimuliert, die Hemmschwelle sinkt, selber mit Glücksspiel anzufangen und auch durch solche Sachen kann man da ganz schnell reingeraten. Es muss nicht sein, dass...
Also, er sagt hier, CSGO-Skins und FIFA sind gefährlich, weil sie dazu führen könnten, dass man Casino und Wetten zockt, ne? Okay. Dadurch sagt er ja erstmal, dass Wetten und Casino erstmal schlimmer sind. Und dadurch kann man natürlich auch stärker die Leute kritisieren, die diese Scheiße an sich promoten. Sollte eigentlich logisch sein.
dass du plötzlich...
Ja, was willst du jetzt? So, also, ja, also, natürlich sollte man, ja, gut, sollte man die stärker kritisieren. Im Endeffekt sollte man einfach jeden kritisieren, der halt Glücksspielinhalte postet. Ist natürlich nochmal ein bisschen verwerflicher, sich dann irgendwie von einem Casino dafür bezahlen zu lassen, Leute da in die Spielsucht zu treiben, auf jeden Fall. Aber CSGO-Kisten sind halt genauso problematisch. Also, und wenn du das halt vor zehntausenden Leuten machst, ob das dann so viel schlimmere Ausmaße dann hat.
bei Tipico oder im Casino Geld investierst, sondern auch das können halt die Anfänge sein, wie ich schon gesagt habe. Die Hemmschwelle, irgendwann mal selber anzufangen, sinkt halt wirklich extrem. Und wie gesagt, heißt das nicht, dass man 1000 Euro im Casino investiert, sondern es kann sein, dass man bei Montana Black sieht, auch der öffnet ein paar CSGO-Kisten, das ist was Cooles, ich investiere auch mal Geld. Oder ich hole mir ein paar FIFA-Packs.
Also ich verstehe das Video nicht. Am Anfang hat er gesagt, er findet es scheiße, dass man Skurrus und Orange Monch jetzt dafür verantwortlich macht, so, mitverantwortlich macht. Ja, mach doch mal lieber auch ein Trimax und ein Montana Black dafür mitverantwortlich. Ist das jetzt der Sinn dieses Videos? Ich verstehe. Okay, er will wahrscheinlich eher damit sagen, ja, ihr gebt nur den beiden die Schuld, gibt auch anderen die Schuld. Aber so, ich fühle das ehrlich gesagt nicht.
Oder ich hole mir auf irgendeiner...
Ja, ich weiß, da fehlt dir, glaube ich, auch einiges für, um das zu verstehen. Ja, also, ja, was soll ich dazu sagen, Bro? Es geht halt, also ich habe es jetzt auch schon 5-mal in der Reaction gesagt, letztes Mal sage ich das halt noch. So, es geht halt einfach darum, aufzuklären, dass halt Glücksspiel nicht nur Casino ist. So, und dass wenn man sagt, dass ein Orange Monch oder ein Skurrus dafür Verantwortung tragen, so, dann muss man sich mal vor Augen führen, wie krass Glücksspiel in unserer Gesellschaft angekommen ist. Oder heutzutage, jeder 10-Jährige lädt sich Apps runter, wo es irgendwelche Kisten gibt, die man öffnen kann, die man sich für Echtgeld holen kann. Wo alle Spiele, die heutzutage bekannt sind, kannst du irgendwelche Sachen öffnen, auch gegen Geld. Ich weiß gar nicht, bei League of Legends bin ich mir gerade nicht sicher. Das weiß ich nicht. Aber bei CSGO kannst du das machen. Ich glaube, bei Valorant bin ich mir auch gerade nicht sicher. Aber so bei jedem AAA-Spiel, was heutzutage rauskommt, kannst du dir mit Echtgeld irgendwelche Sachen kaufen, die du dann halt random bekommst. So, und das ist halt gefährlich so. Und das wird von der Gesellschaft aber nicht so wahrgenommen, weil halt Glücksspiel für die Leute immer nur bedeutet, okay, du investierst da Geld rein und dein Geld kann halt komplett weg sein. Also jetzt wie zum Beispiel im Casino. So, hier, wie heißt es? Das Thema ist aber viel, viel größer, viel, viel komplexer. Das fängt viel früher an. So, und wir als Gesellschaft müssen einfach anfangen, uns dessen bewusst zu werden, darüber informieren, aufzuklären, damit wir in Deutschland vielleicht auch mal so weit kommen, dass zum Beispiel FIFA-Packs verboten werden. Genau deswegen.
Seite eine Mystery Box, wo ich dann irgendwelche zufälligen Gegenstände oder Kleidungsstücke bekomme.
Was bedeutet eigentlich AAA? Und einer kommentiert AAA. Ah, dankeschön. Ja, AAA sind die Spiele aus den größten Entwicklerstudios, die rauskommen. Also zum Beispiel wie Call of Duty, Battlefield und so weiter. Das sind so AAA-Titel. Also so die am meisten Geld dafür ausgeben? Oder wie sagt man das? Also so die krassesten Spiele.
Dadurch
so.
kann man halt schon angefixt werden. Und die Hemmschwelle, dann wirklich ins Casino zu gehen oder sich bei einem Sportwettenanbieter anzumelden, ist dann schon deutlich geringer. Und dann kann die Spielsucht natürlich richtig eskalieren. Dieser tragische Tod sollte dafür sorgen, dass alle Influencer und vor allem, dass wir als Gesellschaft merken, wie krass Glücksspiel schon in der Mitte der Gesellschaft angekommen ist. Wie normal das für uns ist, dass wir irgendwelche Kisten öffnen, dass wir FIFA-Packs ziehen, dass man in jeder App heutzutage irgendwelche...
Ich meine, heutzutage, man kann sogar eigentlich noch früher anfangen. Das habe ich in dem Video vergessen. Das ist mir erst gerade aufgefallen, weil ich hier AAA bedeutet Armored Anti-Air gelesen habe. Guck mal, zum Beispiel, ich habe als Kind auch mal diese Panini-Sticker gesammelt. Kennt ihr diese Panini-Sticker? Ich hatte mal immer dieses Fußballheft irgendwie mit, keine Ahnung, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 oder so. So ein paar Jahre hintereinander hatte ich das. Und da zum Beispiel ist es ja auch zufällig, was du halt bekommst, ne? Und wenn du halt das ganze Heft voll haben möchtest, da musstest du auch schon gut Geld investieren, ne? Also früher hat so ein Pack hat 50 Cent gekostet. Also, ja, das meiste hat mein Vater da rein investiert. Also immer, wenn ich zu denen gefahren bin, habe ich teilweise so 10 Packs oder sowas gehabt. Ja, irgendwann war es echt einfach anstrengend. Du hast alle aufgemacht und dann hast du die sortiert, eingeklebt und so. Du warst danach so, boah, Digga, jetzt ist mal gut. Aber das zum Beispiel ist auch Glücksspiel theoretisch, ne? Ja, ich hatte auch so ein Star Wars Heft, glaube ich, oder wollte ich mir holen, zur Episode 3 damals.
welche Kisten kaufen kann. Einige Länder, wie zum Beispiel Österreich, haben FIFA-Packs.
Ja, Pokémon-Karten, Yu-Gi-Oh! Karten auch. Ist halt auch an sich halt zufällig, was da drin ist. Gut, wobei bei den Panini-Stickern und Pokémon-Karten und so weiter muss man halt aber auch fairerweise dazu sagen, die Sachen kannst du dir doch online kaufen, ne? Ja, kannst du sagen, ja schon.
Auch schon als illegales Glücksspiel eingestuft. Und Deutschland muss da einfach...
Gibt's da Karten, die richtig viel wert sind? Ja gut, okay, doch. Du könntest halt damals auch theoretisch Yu-Gi-Oh! Packs ziehen, in der Hoffnung halt was richtig Wertvolles zu bekommen, ne?
ziehen, vor allem auch um die Jugendlichen zu schützen. Ansonsten wird der traurige Verlust von Floppy nicht der letzte
Ja, bei
sein.
CSGO-Kisten könnte aber auch, also bei CSGO-Kisten würde ich eher sagen, also wir haben ja gerade bei mir im Inventar geguckt, ne? Also wenn du mal überlegst, so ein paar Skins, die halt 1000 Euro wert sind, die kannst du ja für echt Geld verkaufen, so, da kriegst du halt so viel Geld raus. Ist natürlich die Frage, gibt es so viele Yu-Gi-Oh! Karten, dass du wirklich danach süchtig wirst, dass du jetzt so denkst, okay, ich will diesen Gewinn haben? Oder ist es bei Counter-Strike wahrscheinlicher? Oh.
Der sich aus so einem Grund das Leben nimmt. Natürlich kenne ich die Geschichte von Floppy nicht. Ich weiß nicht, wann er seine...
Boah, ist echt ein schwieriges Thema, ne? Da kann man echt sehr, sehr lange drüber diskutieren, ob jetzt zum Beispiel CSGO-Kisten und Yu-Gi-Oh! Karten-Packs öffnen zum Beispiel gleich schlimm ist, ob das gleich süchtig macht. Ja, ich würde sagen, ich glaube, das Ding ist aber, diese ganzen Online-Sachen werden schon schlimmer sein, weil das Gehirn schon anders stimuliert wird halt, ne? Wie zum Beispiel bei den FIFA-Packs habe ich ja schon gesagt, ne? Mit, keine Ahnung, es kommt Feuer und der Spieler läuft rein und so, das hast du ja nicht, ne? Bei den Yu-Gi-Oh! Karten öffnest du halt das Pack und hast halt die Karten in der Hand, so, da ist keiner, der neben dir steht und sagt, wow, du hast diese Karte bekommen! Und dann so ein Feuerwerk zündet für dich halt, ne? Da würde ich schon sagen, dass das Gehirn deutlich mehr stimuliert wird.
Anfänge mit Glücksspiel hatte. Ich weiß noch nicht, ob er irgendwelche Boxen oder sonst irgendwas geöffnet hat. Kann auch wirklich sein, dass er random von einem Kollegen gehört hat, ey, es gibt sowas wie Tipico und er hat sich da angemeldet. Fakt ist aber trotzdem, dass vor allem Kinder und Jugendliche heutzutage überall mit Glücksspiel konfrontiert werden und die Hemmschwelle dafür natürlich, wenn du das jahrelang mitbekommst, extrem niedrig ist. Ja, das, was Gurus und Orange da machen, ist moralisch wirklich das Letzte, gar keine Frage. Sie sorgen dafür, dass Menschen sich ebenfalls in Casinos anmelden, damit konfrontiert werden, anfangen zu spielen und eventuell süchtig werden. Aber man kann ihnen einfach nicht die Schuld an so einem Verlust geben. Und wie gesagt, wenn das trotzdem eure
Also
Meinung ist...
man kann ihnen nicht die Schuld geben, wie gesagt, die haben es ja nicht die sind ja nicht direkt schuldig dafür. Aber man kann ihnen auf jeden Fall eine Mitschuld geben und man kann ihnen auf jeden Fall vorwerfen, dass potenziell das deren Zuschauern auch widerfahren kann und dass jemand potenziell das gleiche Schicksal erleiden kann wie ein Floppy durch deren Werbung. Das kann man denen auf jeden Fall vorwerfen. Das ist
Ja, safe, aber das gleiche kannst du halt auch, wie gesagt, allen anderen vorwerfen so. Warum wird das da nicht gemacht? Warum wird nur auf die beiden aufgetreten?
ein Paradebeispiel dafür gewesen.
Dann fangt bitte auch an, einen Trimax das in die Schuhe zu schieben. Eine
Bullshit,
Montana.
Digga. Also wirklich, das miteinander zu vergleichen, finde ich so widerlich, Alter. Okay, du magst einen Trimax und Montana Black nicht mehr. Okay, du bist jetzt irgendwie cool mit den Screws, aber...
Bruder, also erstmal, was hat das damit zu tun, ob ich cool mit dem bin oder nicht? Zweitens, woher möchtest du wissen, wie mein privater Kontakt zu den beiden ist? Also er kann das ja einfach faktisch gesehen gar nicht wissen. Ich habe ja privat mit ihm keinen Kontakt und ich denke in Trimax und in Monta auch nicht. Er dingst da einfach irgendwas rein.
Digga, wirklich. Ein Verteidigungsvideo jetzt für Screws
Das ist ja auch
und
keine
Orange
Verteidigung.
Morange.
Bruder, ich habe doch im Video sogar gegen die geschossen. Digga, das ist halt, ey, Junge.
Nachdem ein Floppy sich umgebracht hat wegen solchem Glücksspiel, so...
Black und generell jeden Streamer, der irgendwann mal vor einer großen Reichweite irgendwelche Glücksspielelemente gezeigt hat. Dieser Tweet hier von Skurrus hat halt einfach recht. Es ist vollkommen egal, ob du Geld in CSGO...
Es ist nicht das Gleiche. Keiner verliert seine Existenz wegen FIFA-Packs.
Du gibt's auch schon ein paar Leute tatsächlich.
Von niemandem wird das Leben zerstört.
Kisten.
Doch, also, Digga, also, guck mal, weißt du, das ist halt so das Ding. Also, die komplette Faktenlage zum Thema Spielsucht. Jede Studie sagt das, außer vielleicht eine, die von EA bezahlt worden ist oder so, dass halt so Dinge wie halt FIFA-Packs, CSGO-Kisten, Fantasy-Sport und so weiter, also genauso Glücksspiel sind, genau die gleichen Bereiche im Gehirn stimulieren wie normales Glücksspiel auch. Und ein Root K, der offensichtlich einfach gar keine Ahnung hat, stellt sich dann dahin und sagt einfach, nö, ist nicht so. Also Bruder, jetzt mal ganz ehrlich, einer hat es auch reingeschrieben, ne, diese Reaction ist wahrscheinlich auch nur so wegen der Antipathie, die er gegen mich hat. Safe, 100%ig. Da stelle ich mir aber wirklich die Frage, warum, Digga? Also, du hast keine Ahnung von diesem Thema. Bruder, es geht immer noch nicht darum, Skurrus und Orange Morange zu verteidigen, sondern es geht um den Tod von Floppy, den du jetzt ausnutzt, um mit Lügen, um Unwahrheiten Welle gegen mich zu schieben, mir vorzuwerfen, dass ich absichtlich gegen irgendwelche Leute schieße, also halt Trimax und Monte, was ich nicht mache, oder dass ich Skurrus und Orange Morange verteidige. Obwohl ich selber in diesem Video auch sage, dass das, was die machen, Müll ist und moralisch verwerflich. Also ja, geile Verteidigung auf jeden Fall. Props an mich. Junge, bester Freund ever. Das ist so respektlos einfach Floppy gegenüber, wie du dieses ganze Video, dieses ganze Thema nicht verstehst und einfach nur versuchst, irgendwie mich damit zu fronten und fertig zu machen. Also ganz ehrlich, dann reagier doch bitte einfach gar nicht drauf, dann such dir doch irgendein anderes Video, womit du mich frontest, anstatt dass du seinen Tod jetzt so in den Dreck ziehst, wirklich. Digga, ich weiß nicht, was ich dazu sagen soll. So, und es ist ja auch okay, wenn du dich mit dem Thema nicht auskennst, aber dann sag doch nichts dazu. Oder informier dich doch mal vorher. Also wie gesagt, du musst nicht mal Studien lesen, Bruder. Der Bruder von Trimax hat das super zusammengefasst. Simplicissimus hat das super zusammengefasst. Du musst einfach nur ein Video gucken. 2 Videos von mir aus.
Oder im Casino investierst. Glücksspiel bleibt Glücksspiel. Das kann euch
Jetzt bin ich wieder zu hell.
zeigen.
Junge.
Digga, es geht doch darum, was deine Intention ist, was deine Motivation ist.
Nachher gehen wir doch in
was dein
Fortnite
Ziel
rein.
ist. Es geht doch nicht nur um Glücksspiel. Wenn du, was weiß ich, wie heißt dieses komische Spiel? Mensch, ärgere dich nicht spielst, ist das auch Glücksspiel. Aber es ist doch nicht vergleichbar mit einem Casino. Was ist das für eine, nur weil da diese Mechanik drin ist, heißt es doch nicht, dass es vergleichbar.
Ja, Digga, keine Ahnung, was ich dazu sagen soll. Ich weiß nicht, ob man, Mensch, ärgere dich nicht, mit FIFA-Packs oder CSGO-Cases vergleichen kann, um ehrlich zu sein, aber gut.
Vergleichbar alles ist. Wenn ich zu Hause, Mensch, ärgere dich nicht, mit meiner Frau oder sowas spiele, dann ist es doch nicht vergleichbar, nur weil es Glücksspiel ist. Ja, es löst was in deinem Kopf aus, aber das ist nicht das Gleiche.
Der dazu irgendwelche Studien gemacht hat. Wie gesagt, Simplicissimus hat das ja schon. Es werden im Gehirn genau die gleichen Bereiche angetriggert. Wie gesagt, mir tut der Verlust einfach wirklich leid. Und ich hoffe einfach, dass einige Influencer oder auch wir als Gesellschaft viel mehr darüber reden, dass wir versuchen, dass diese Glücksspielelemente wieder aus der Mitte der Gesellschaft verschwinden. Denn ansonsten kann ich euch sagen, dass...
Ja, also, wie gesagt, ich stimme Ihnen hier bei den Sachen zu. Natürlich, FIFA, was sie da machen, widerlich. CSGO, was sie da machen, widerlich. Aber das mit Casino
Monopoly einfach schlimmste, wie oft ich auf losgekommen bin und dadurch süchtig wurde.
und mit Sportnetzvergleich.
wir vielleicht in 15 oder 15 Jahren... Wenn
Ja, es ist halt einfach kein Glücksspiel nach dem, was man als Glücksspiel definiert. So, aber klar geht es natürlich bei Monopoly oder Mensch, ärgere dich nicht um Glück. So, das ist halt klar. Ne? Es kommt ja drauf an, dass du jetzt zum Beispiel immer hohe Zahlen würfelst. Entweder du hast halt das Glück oder nicht.
vor
Ne?
allem die
Aber das ist ja überhaupt nicht vergleichbar mit irgendwelchen Packs oder FIFA-Kisten oder sonst irgendwas, offensichtlich so.
jungen Leute von heute, die vielleicht 12 bis 14 sind und bei Monte und Co. die ganze Zeit damit konfrontiert werden, eine viel, viel höhere Chance haben, glücksspielsüchtig zu werden. Was sagt ihr dazu? Schreibt es mir gerne in die Kommentare. Wir sehen uns im nächsten Video. Okay, thanks, bye.
Ja, keine Ahnung. Also ich persönlich fand das sehr schwach, das Video. Check ich nicht. Also check ich nicht in diese Situation, jetzt dieses Video rauszuhauen. Fühle ich einfach gar nicht. Ehrlich gesagt, fühle ich gar nicht. Aber ihr könnt es natürlich eher anders sehen. Schreibt mir gerne eure Meinung in die Kommentare und falls euch diese Reaction gefallen hat, lasst mir gerne ein Like und ein Abo da.
Ja, Digga, ja, wir haben auch 49 Minuten drauf reagiert. Was geht, Alter? Das Video geht 20 Minuten. So, ja, gut, Kommentare müssen wir uns, glaube ich, jetzt nicht nochmal angucken. Also, gab auf jeden Fall einige, die das halt auch kritisiert haben. Ja, ich fand die Reaction, wie gesagt, einfach super schwach. Namefehler, Dankeschön für den Prime-Sub. Also, ja, super wack einfach. Ich weiß nicht, was ich dazu sagen soll, oder wenn du das Thema nicht verstehst, so, dann halt dich doch einfach zurück und sag doch einfach gar nichts dazu. Wäre deutlich besser gewesen.
Genau, dass man sich selbst viel zu sehr beschädigen würde, jetzt einfach so einen Rückzieher zu machen. Und ich zitiere DWDL hier an dieser Stelle mal. Die Michael Wendler Doku-Soap von RTL 2 wird weder vor noch nach der TV-Ausstrahlung auf RTL Plus verfügbar sein.
Ach, kommt die jetzt doch, oder was?
Eine Sprecherin bestätigt die Haltung am Abend dann auch nochmal auf DWDL Nachfrage. Man kann sagen, klare Kante aus Deutsch, wo man das eigene Theater mit Michael Wendler nicht vergessen hat. Und damit ist der finanzielle Erfolg dieser Produktion so gut wie passé. Sehr schlechte Vorzeichen. Und dann kam noch die Äußerung der Geissens hinzu. Die haben nämlich schon damit gedroht, den Sender zu verlassen. Stabiles Statement, haben halt alle möglichen Leute auch gepostet, auch Jan Böhmermann beispielsweise. Aber irgendwie wussten die alle nicht, dass auch hier natürlich im Hintergrund Geld eine große Rolle spielt, weil ihnen der Wendler, wie gesagt, über 200.000 Euro schuldet. Das könnte vielleicht ein persönliches Problem sein. Und natürlich ist das eine Gefahr, die Geissens als Traditionsmarke zu verlieren. Das will man natürlich nicht riskieren. Das ist jetzt meine Theorie.
Auch krass, ne? Wie viel Macht die haben. Ja, ich denke schon, dass es da irgendwo halt um Geld geht, aber ich kann mir auch vorstellen, dass die Geissens natürlich aber auch wissen, dass sie sich so einfach sehr sympathisch halt verkaufen können. Ne? Die haben ja auch mitbekommen, ne, dass Michael Wendler sehr krass gehatet wird. Ne? Und wenn du dann natürlich sowas postest, ne, dann du machst dich halt super sympathisch bei den Leuten so, ne? Das kannst du halt einfach mal mitnehmen. Also jetzt, man kennt die Gründe natürlich nicht, aber das kann es auch sein.
Warum man wirklich abgesagt hat. Wie komme ich jetzt auf diese Theorie? Weil RTL 2 geplant und gezielt die Kooperation mit dem Wendler forciert haben wird. Und jetzt kommen wir zum eigentlichen Tiefpunkt von all dem Geschäft mit dem Hass. Was RTL 2 will, das ist simpel, Reichweite. Wenn wir es herunterbrechen, ist der Wendler vor allen Dingen eine extrem kontroverse Figur. Viele Leute kennen ihn halt einfach und haben starke Gefühle zu ihm. Und das wird dazu führen, dass sehr viele Hate-Watcher zuschauen werden. Moment. Wie kommt denn jetzt Hass in diese Rechnung rein? Das kann doch nicht funktionieren, das ist doch schlecht für die Marke, oder? Nee, denn sie verfolgen eine neue Strategie. Rage Bait und Rage Farming. das überflügelt Clickbait bei weitem, weil an Clickbait haben wir uns gewöhnt. Ich zitiere mal.
Oh, das ist aber gut für mich, ne? Da komme ich vielleicht auch bald ins Fernsehen.
Im Gegensatz zu Clickbait haben Ragebait und Rage-Farming fast immer eine negative Konnotation. Wutköder und Wutfarmen, auf Deutsch übersetzt, ne, manipulieren Benutzer, um auf anstößige, aufrührerische Schlagzeilen, Memes, Tropen oder Kommentare in gleicher Weise zu reagieren. Also entrüstet, moralisch, progressiv auf etwas zu reagieren, was komplett daneben ist. Rage Farming, das mindestens seit Januar 2022 zitiert wird, ist ein Ableger von Rage-Baiting, bei dem die Empörung der provozierten Person durch Rage-Seeding in ein Online-Engagement gezüchtet oder manipuliert wird, das zur Verstärkung der Nachricht des ursprünglichen Inhaltserstellers beiträgt. Beispiel: Reagiert ihr auf Hogwarts Legacy mit wütenden Postings und streitet dann tagelang mit irgendwelchen Trollen auf Twitter, dann seid ihr eine Rage-Farm geworden und habt euch quasi selbst zum Unterstützer gemacht. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Grüße gehen raus. Auch Creator, die ihr nach außen für progressiv halten würdet, deren Content aber nur aus emotionalen Ausrastern auf anderen Content besteht, nutzen diesen Effekt übrigens bewusst, vielleicht auch unbewusst, für sich und werden oft genug zum Teil des Problems an sich. RTL liebt es, wenn jedes Jahr deutsche Influencer Hate-Videos gegen Germany's Next Topmodel machen. Das pusht die Einschaltquoten und damit das Geld, was sie damit umsetzen. RTL und RTL 2 sind auf diesen Trend aufgesprungen. Sie wollen uns provozieren. Sie wollen, dass Trash-TV-Kommentatoren sich aufregen und reagieren auf alles, was in diesen ganzen Sendungen permanent passiert. Die werden so geschrieben, die werden so produziert, dass man sich aufregt und die eigene Reichweite in den Ring wirft, um die Gesamtreichweite zu erhöhen, die gesellschaftliche Relevanz und Sichtbarkeit zu erhöhen. Wie perfide ist bitte dieser Trick? Habt ihr davon schon mal gehört? Ich kenne...
Ja, vor allem, man kann halt auch nichts dagegen machen, ne? Weil ich zum Beispiel finde es auf jeden Fall schon wichtig, dass man Germany's Next Topmodel kritisiert, weil da halt einfach vieles nicht gut läuft. Und ja, so letztes Jahr hat man ja zumindest auch mal irgendwie 1, 2 Statements und so weiter bekommen. Vielleicht ändert sich wenigstens ein bisschen was ins Positive. Ne? Aber er hat recht, so, ne? Wenn du da halt darüber berichtest, dass es schlecht ist, wollen die genau das. Und wenn du es halt nicht machst, dann geht das halt genauso weiter und ist dann natürlich halt doof für die Kandidaten, die dann da ausgenutzt und teilweise ja auch ja, gesundheitsschädlichen Dingen ausgesetzt werden, ne? Wie zum Beispiel irgendwelche Füße, die eingeschmiert werden vorher.
Den auch noch nicht so lange. Und die einzige Möglichkeit ist eigentlich, all dem keine Aufmerksamkeit mehr zu schenken. Und ich denke, mir gelingt das auch nicht immer. Und falls ihr euch fragt, wo ich da bei mir jetzt die Grenze ziehe, bei gesellschaftlich relevanter Aufklärung. Ich versuche ja meine Videos immer, um so ein grundlegendes Thema aufzubauen und nicht auf Gossip. Dieses Video, das hat zwar scheinbar den Aufhänger Wendler, aber eigentlich geht es darum, euch diese neue, extrem manipulative Medienstrategie zu präsentieren, dass ihr nicht selber zum Multiplikator des Problems werdet. Und wie ich meinte, ich steige ein, wenn es um Politik geht. Und nun ist es hier bei diesem Thema tatsächlich so, dass es um Politik geht. Nämlich bereits 2012 deuteten Untersuchungen darauf hin, dass es sowohl in den Medien als auch in der Politik ein mächtiges Instrument ist, Empörung hervorzurufen. Und das Problematische hierbei ist halt, diese Taktik hat sich RTL 2 direkt von Extremisten und Populisten aus dem Internet abgeschaut und hat sich sogar eine Person aus diesem Sumpf genommen. Eine Person, die auch von diesen Rage-Farmen umschwört wird.
Joker nur so nebenbei. Er hat kein Schielgesicht, außer du meinst mich, sondern hat ein Glasauge.
Diese ganze Bubble führt dazu, dass Dinge immer größer werden. Sie haben sich gezielt jemanden herausgesucht, der nicht nur in der gegensätzlichen Bubble für krasse Reaktionen sorgen wird, sondern sie haben sich auch noch jemanden herausgesucht, dessen eigene Bubble ein krasses Potenzial hat, das zu verbreiten. Und wie erfolgreich das sein kann, das sehen wir natürlich an den Staaten. Der Gründer von Infowars, ne, Alex Jones, der verdiente über Infowars $800.000 am Tag, indem er Fehlinformationen und Verschwörungstheorien verbreitete, was dann sozusagen der Rage-Farm-Dünger war und die ganze Welt begann dann auf Jones einzuprügeln. Und das hat ihn unfassbar reich gemacht. Und ich vermute mal, genauso haben es auch die ganzen Schwurbel-Influencer in Deutschland versucht, weil die großen Vorbilder aus den Staaten so erfolgreich waren. Und vielleicht war das auch der Gedanke vom Wendler ursprünglich, als er da eingestiegen ist. Weil er sich gedacht hat, diese Aufmerksamkeit, die denen zuteil wird, kann man doch super in Geld verwandeln. Und diese Strategie...
Ja, safe. Also wie gesagt, bei mir war das ja auf jeden Fall auch so schon öfter. Ne? Jetzt natürlich in einem kleineren Kreis, aber bei mir war es ja auch, oder ist es ja auch oft so, dass ich auf Twitter gehatet werde. Das gestern schon im Stream gesagt, ich wurde mal dafür gehatet, dass ich in meiner Story gepostet habe mit meiner damaligen Freundin. Wir haben gemacht, wer den Arm am längsten einfach gerade ausstrecken kann. Wir haben halt die linke Hand genommen, aber wir haben es halt fotografiert und dann wird es ja quasi umgedreht und die dachten, das war die rechte Hand und meinten dann, ja, hier Hitlergruß und so weiter. und haben dann auch da voll auf mich draufgehauen und das war natürlich auch super, ne, weil ich das ja auch einfach nutzen konnte für ein Video, was auch dann richtig gut angekommen ist, so, ne.
Strategie, Leute, ist ein riesengroßes Problem. Es ist gerade wirklich ein zentrales Problem unserer Medienlandschaft, weil sie nämlich aktiv dabei hilft, unsere Gesellschaft weiter gegeneinander aufzuhetzen, weil die mediale Öffentlichkeit immer mehr zu Hate-Farmen wird. Die gesamte Öffentlichkeit, Influencer, egal ob sie progressiv sind oder nicht, lassen sich zu Hate-Farmen manipulieren. Und der Sender und die Produzenten wissen das. Die machen das absichtlich. Sie nehmen das in Kauf, weil es zu mehr Reichweite führt. Ihnen ist jedes Mittel recht. Und was in diesem Fall natürlich auch noch einhergegangen ist, man gibt jemandem ganz öffentlich den Freifahrtschein, völlig konsequenzlos alles in der Öffentlichkeit zu verbreiten, was man will. Und damit wird natürlich wieder der Diskursrahmen ausgeweitet, nicht wahr? Denn wenn du deine Grenzen nicht aufgezeigt bekommst, dann suchst du nach den nächsten. Also, Plot-Twist. Es geht eigentlich gar nicht an und für sich um den Wendler. Es geht um diese Masche der privaten Fernsehsender und der politischen Extremisten. Es geht darum, wie sie intentionalen Hass auf Social Media nutzen. Und das Nebenprodukt ist eine weitere Spaltung unserer Gesellschaft. Das Thema ist größer als der Wendler und es ist ganz wichtig, dass wir uns dieses Thema vor Augen halten. Dass wir uns dieser Strategie bewusst werden und uns da nicht manipulieren lassen. Wie gesagt, auch ich habe das erst vor kurzem verstanden. Es ist auch für mich super schwer, nicht direkt in diesen Reflex zu verfallen. Bin ich ganz ehrlich. Das ist sozusagen der Endboss der Medienmanipulation. Michael Wendler ist als Person mitverantwortlich für die Spaltung dieser Gesellschaft während Corona. Er hat viele Menschen mit seiner Desinformation, mit seiner Holocaust-Relativierung, Hetze gegen die Regierung, Hetze gegen verschiedene Menschengruppen und mit anderen kruden Verschwörungserzählungen aller Art beeinflusst. Und sie mit dem
überlegen, 140.000 Leute, ne?
Bewerben von überteuerten Produkten auch um viel Geld gebracht und so weiter und so fort. Zu Recht wurde er nicht nur von diversen Plattformen, sondern auch von diversen Sendern entfernt. Ihn zurückzubringen ist eine gefährliche Rage-Farming-Taktik von RTL 2, die genauso wie der Wendler selbst diese Gesellschaft negativ treffen wird. Und wie gesagt, zudem wird nach außen deutlich signalisiert, dass man auch mit Holocaust-Relativierung durchkommt. Und am Ende ist es eben so gewesen, um Michael das letzte Wort zu überlassen hier, ne? Dass er im Sommerhaus der Stars 2019 sagte:
Ich glaube, dass auch ein ganz intelligenter Mensch zwischen Dummen dümmer wird.
Danke für eure Aufmerksamkeit. Teilt das Video mit Leuten, die noch nie von Hate Farming gehört haben. Ich glaube, das könnte wichtig werden in Zukunft. Lasst mir gerne ein Abo da und eine Bewertung zu diesem Video. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüssikowski. Danke für...
Ja, gutes Video auf jeden Fall. Sehr, sehr gut. Sehr gute Aussage. Da muss man auf jeden Fall aufpassen. Und ja, aber ich finde es auch krass, was der Wendler alles gepostet hat. Ne? Wenn du das hier dann nochmal so sehr komprimiert halt siehst, was der so von sich gegeben hat in der Zeit, das ist wirklich, also... Digga, keine Ahnung. Das macht einen so richtig sprachlos einfach, ne? Das ist krass. Ja, wie gesagt, es ist auf jeden Fall gut, dass ja, das jetzt gar nicht ausgestrahlt wird, soweit ich weiß. Ist auf jeden Fall schon mal ein richtiger Schritt. Na, bin gespannt, ob da noch irgendwas kommt oder das jetzt einfach so bleibt.
BB 70 is 7-7. I thought they were worse. I mean, the team is not bad. I think meow is a sprinter though. I think meow is like really terrible. So let's see how hard the Shy is on him. I think a player like the Shy will completely dumpster meow. Like, they're probably favorites, but they're not guaranteed to win. People were pretty upset about that, bro. People were losing it. Flash for flash. Does he get Q flashed? Oh my god, Hong just griefed it completely. What do you mean? An aggressive flash? He just griefed it completely. He just missed his Q flash. Wait, that's why he's... Look, he's literally like, yeah, I'm gonna throw up now. He had to pause because he is just like... He is so disgusted by what he just did. I mean, to be honest, they had a very easy early schedule. Them beating EDG was big, but I don't know. They had a pretty easy schedule. I'm just going to light here. What's the play? What's the play? Who are we killing? All right, that should be free. I think you're okay with this though. If you're Weibo, I think this is fine for them. They get Herald here. They get to push in a wave mid. They're gonna get Crab. Philius doesn't even get denied. Does he get denied? Doesn't even look like he gets denied. Severum ults just for healing, so he's full life, so they can't dive him. This is actually completely fine for Weibo, by the way. I don't know about this, bro. Please don't. Thank you, Karsa. I don't think this is good at all from Hang. I think it's really grief. He's just griefing. Good kick from Karsa there. Oh my god, light that ult. Jesus. They really can't fight this? Oh wow, that Renata ult clipped him. That looked outside of the hitbox. Also, the Shy is up casual like 1.5k gold. Like, he's up so much gold, man. It's so crazy. He's got 40 CS lead, right? And then he also has 5 solo plates on top and first turret. Like, that is crazy. Oh, well played, the Shy. Yeah, I mean, I told you he was gonna put meow into the dumpster, man. I told you. meow is the perfect player for the Shy. Oh my god, don't tell me. Is he gonna get this one too? Oh my god, if he gets this turn as well, we could just forfeit, man. He's so far ahead in gold. He's actually just ahead. What? He's up almost 3k gold. He has a cull stack too. He's literally up almost 3k gold solo. 50 CS, a cull that's completely stacked, right? 5 turret plates, first turret at a tier 2, and a solo kill. Look at him. He's got a fucking full thorn mail. He just pulled out a thorn mail just straight out of his. Yeah, who has flash? Can he get it off? No, he can't. Couldn't get the stun off either. I don't know. This is tough. I really hate this. WE's about to get aced. I mean, they got Baron, but at what cost? At what cost did they get Baron here, guys? At what cost? Wait. Okay. Well, we got ace. I mean, this is just a... You see this a mile away that they're about to get ace. You see it a mile away that they're about to get all killed doing this Baron. There's not even a real good reason for it, you know? Like, the Shy is here, and he has TP. I guess they were assuming the Shy was not going to be here, but still. Wait, what's happening? The Shy is just ending the game?
This is what I was talking about earlier on. You get to a certain point where when he's in mini, he just kind of wins. And at 3 items, too tanky.
Okay, the Shy is just... Oh, that was a interesting angle on the kick. Yeah, GA. Can they just end? Can they just end? They should be able to. Maybe they can end. Pretty close. Pretty close. Let's see how they go about it. Oh, and he still has Tibbers actually. meow is... I don't even know where he's going. Yeah, I don't think they can end. Okay, all right. So they end up going to Baron here. They should just get free Baron. Dude, look at how strong that Gnar is. Oh my god. Dude, sell the Hull Breaker though. Come on. You don't need that. Why do you need a Hull Breaker, man? Why do you need a Hull Breaker in this game over a Sterak's? Like, you're ending the game through team fights anyway. Hope is dead. This dude is dead too. Hang is dead. Shanks is dead to Karsa. God, Karsa played this. he missed the Q point blank, but we'll pretend we didn't see it. Hi Dom, I'm an international brand manager for McDonald's. Would you change your name to I Will McDominate if we sponsor you? 100%, bro. I Will McDominate would go off. That's a perfect name. I Will McDominate. Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't even think twice. All right, into draft immediately. Let's see it. Maokai banned. Maokai banned into Hang. Cassio banned into Shanks. All right, pretty good target bans from Weibo. I actually like these. Move my cam so you can see them. Pretty good target bans. Varus banned as well. Wow, they go Nami Draven to deny the Draven. I 100% beat Talia banned from WA now. Gnar banned. Oh, Talia is still up, bro. They're gonna get a free Talia here? Nah, that can't be legal, bro. Talia is so good here. Also, when you're playing Talia into like Sona, you could just enable the bot lane gank. Playing Talia to roam to Draven lane to get that free kill is huge. I don't know, bro. I think that they're griefing super hard with this. I think this is mega grief from WE. Unless they have like a plan to pick Talia right now, but I mean, I hate it. What? For what reason? Now we're just opening up the Lissandra. We're just opening up a Lissandra when we don't even want to. Shanks Asol? I don't know. I feel like Shanks wouldn't have a nice Asol. Rise? Yeah, Rise is fine. Rise is completely fine. Wow. Going really bad for them. They have no heal. They're just dead. Wow. And they had to TP for this. They're just losing 2v2 with Draven. Nice.
Complete fives happen, but I need to see Weibo get aggressive once Karsa has ultimate. Oh, like
so close to going down. Hope and I want a really great all-in.
I mean, I guess this Draven lane just straight up loses to Sona. I want he's just too good at enchanters, I guess.
It's not going the way they need it to right now.
Ew!
Okay, that was.
You are so f***ing bad, Bew. He is so bad, dude. I'm telling you. I've been telling you the whole. Oh God, he's so bad.
Shine out, just infinite advantage in the top side. Has his ultimate. If he can find the stun, this could be a kill from the Shine. Flashes in.
You're so bad. You're so bad. You're so bad. You're so bad, Bew. Holy f***, man. You're so sh. Just flame him. Please flame him in team chat. The Shy is dead, by the way. He's getting ulted on by Rise. Fine.
So the Shy should be dead. But how long will it take?
I hope he gets flamed by somebody.
Notice Karsa is actually just doing his blue buff. He's not even coming to try and help. He's like the Shy.
There's no way you have to flash here, Hang. Oh my God, I hate this. WE sucks, bro. They suck so bad. Please don't win. Is BB worse than Heavy? Okay, no, that is ridiculous. No, he's way better in like mid to late game than Heavy. You might like the lane might be even. Wait, you know Vitality almost got this guy. You know Vitality was thinking about getting BB, and I had to tell them that he sucked. I got reached out. Ah! It's so bad. It's so bad. Sorry, my bad. My bad. It hurts so much to watch. Vitality asked me, "What about this guy? What do you think? What do you think about BB?" I said he is. I said, do not get him. Like I swear, he misclicked or what? No, he like he just asked Nuke Duck, bro. Just ask Nuke Duck.
Not to be deterred. Still gonna go for it. Loses half his HP. Needs to find a knockback. And all out comes on through the Shy. He does damage now that the all out's in play. Walks away. Still has HP. The knockback doesn't.
Oh my God, he solo killed the Shy. Oh no.
Too little, too late.
Whatever. I hate both these top laners. It's fine. It's fine. I don't care. Wait, that guy is dead as. Hang is dead as. Crisp is fine. They can actually go on Iwandi here. They should go on Iwandi, I think. Can they? Never mind. They can go on Shanks. Can he get over there somehow? I mean, I guess they're all dead. Yahoo kills the whole world. All right, bro, I don't know what's going on, but I guess Weibo's winning it. Hey, Nuke Duck, what do you think about our boy Bew over here? What do you think?
Yeah, he just has, you know, just has cancer straight up.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not gonna go for a full commit either side here. As I say that though, Hung has the kick and it's a flash.
I think he can just ult. Oh man, if that didn't get blocked, there's a chance it works. Draven execute is huge here. They see the TP. Kennen has no TP. They have to. Oh my god, is Light just dead? Light has flash. Light has the flash. They have to kill Light here. They killed Light. They killed Light. They killed Light. That's huge. That's huge. It doesn't matter if anything of this happens. It doesn't matter if they all die. They killed Light. 80 carry is not a role anymore in this game. Huge. Okay. I mean, WE just win. How's Viper doing in LCK? I haven't kept up. He is literally getting targeted on purpose by 2 of his teammates in 90% of the games. That's what's happening to him. They can't really. I mean, it's pretty hard for Weibo to fight. Oh my god, that kick was nuts. Oh my god, the kick just one-shot the whole enemy team. Well, it's fucking lost. Well, it's lost. Wait, that kick from Hong just like one-shot the whole enemy. It just won the fight solo. They go for the Sona here. Sona dies. Hey, the Shy is going in onto Hope. Is Hope alive? He is dead, but so is the backline. Oh, WE just win. I don't care about Bew's performance. He's still, like, even though he played fine after he ran it down so hard that he just, to me, it's an L. 369. What's happening here? Hold on. Shanks is just 1v3 in the backline. He just doesn't care. Wait, he's just tanking everyone and killing. Okay. The Shy has no flash. He has no way to really enter here. Yeah, they're trying to make a pick happen onto Shanks. It's not working at all. Shanks can just tank their whole team. Cool. Out of a rookie? Yeah, definitely. What? Yeah, they really need this. I mean, if WE wins this, it's huge. Honestly, I like WE's comp more. I mean, I think they win. Dude, I legit think that just based... Ooh, maybe the Talia makes it a little bit more. It's just still, Talia's not great here. I mean, I think WE wins.
Where's my beans on toast?
What the... Wait, what did I miss? Why did he flash? Why are they trolling today? Dude, what is going on today? I caught that out of the corner of my eye. What happened? Okay, let's see what happened. I literally didn't see it.
Castle going to be started on the red buff. How do Weibo play out this early game? We're saying that they need to be aggressive. We're saying that they need to find a big lead early on. How do you do that with this? Are we really going to watch a replay?
He just flashed.
I can't ignore it if it's in the pit.
Wait, like he just flashed over the wall for zero reason? This is really sus, man. It's really sus. But I don't think that, like, yeah, this would be such a weird game to match fix, but I don't even believe it's match fixing. I think that they're just like, yeah, people are just griefing. I mean, like, this is a game that matters way too much to WE to match fix. And it doesn't matter that much to Weibo, so, like, I don't even know why W would match fix. It doesn't make sense. And better say sites have lines for who flashes first. Yeah, I just don't think that he would I don't think that this would be fixed. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, the games that you would expect, like, people to try to fix are the ones that don't mean anything, not the ones that mean everything to the team. Also, if you try to, like, fix games, you wouldn't fix it like this. Like, just, like, it would be way too obvious.
Not necessarily found all the marks. Whilst he was panning down towards the bottom side and such.
Chat being experts on calling match fix, but they give every benefit of the doubt to every org. I want his flash. He flashes away. They kill here. Hope is here first, though. Oh, Xiao's dead. Big for WE. That's so big for WE. They went super hard on Iwandi here. They're trying to one-shot him. They just didn't have damage. Iwandi got heal off. He got ult off. He shielded himself. And yeah, Hope was able to just ghost over there and pick up a free kill. So really, really good for WE. They should be completely happy scaling in this game. Frozen Heart also is kind of like, that doesn't sound that good versus Renekton, to be honest. Hope has flash still. Iwandi has no flash. All right, happy feet. Let's see it. Well played, Hung. Well played to make that a 1-for-1. Hung match fixing in favor of his own team. Yeah, he's trying to fix the game by winning it. I mean, okay, we gave the plates to the Shy. Nice. I guess.
For the tower, and he certainly attempted to, but not close enough. Xiaohu.
Oh, he's rooted. Do they have the damp one? Yes, they do.
Yes, they
All right, they just murder him. WE, they're too good. Mew has ult. They're gonna try to kill him through lane here.
I mean, again, setting the pace as they are right now, it's not gonna look good as the Shy.
I mean, he has to flash it. Let's see the angle he flashes. Never mind, he just accepts death.
He's just dead.
Mew, why do you get that? Dude, WE is just gonna win. I mean, WE, dude, if they win this, I feel like they're favorites in their first round game with who they're playing into. Maybe RNG like just gets credit for being good before, but yeah, WE's not been playing bad recently. They just had a really hard schedule at the beginning. Solid angle for them.
They could maybe at this Herald, but I mean, the
Shy is just sprinting it completely. Wow. Does he have Q? He has Q. Killed him. Mew, I don't know what you're doing over here, brother, but you should probably have flashed earlier. Oh my god. All right, Mew, you are an inter, but it's okay.
Not the same at all. But Ornn specializes probably in weapons that break moves.
Oh, Mew is dead again.
He's being broken right now. His armor's certainly been broken by Carson. Xiaohu should be able to finish the kill off. It's a good knockup, but it's
Dude, why would you go first item Frozen Heart in a game versus Renekton? I feel like that, like his attack speed slow isn't even that good versus comp. Like Lucian is one of the most casting based AD carries you can find. Oh, he didn't get the auto.
Here we go.
Okay, BB just kills him. Oh my god, Hope! Alright, Hope is just running it. Oh, and Lulu's dead too. Oh my god, it's just show. Don't worry guys, BB got the kill. He has no flash. I mean, Shanks is so tanky here. It's like the same problem as the first game. Oh my god, Hope is sending it. And it seems like Shanks just plays the map well. Like, he's just a good mid laner. He's just not flashy, and he's not as good as the top tier mid laners, that's all. He's kind of like Fofo, to be honest. But he's like Fofo in terms of his skill level, but he's better than Fofo at like roaming and stuff, and he's not as good at just like front to back team fighting. Hope just got caught. Hope got caught. Hope got caught. Oh no, Hope. Hope, you're losing this game for your team alone, by the way, buddy. You're losing this game for your team alone, man. It's crazy. You got caught 3 times in this game. Well, one time you ran in. The second time you like ran in / got caught. This time you got straight caught. So good mechanically, and he just gets caught or what? I mean, he's like pretty good for the he's just a fatal flaw AD carry. He's good at AD carry. Like his laning is pretty good. Most of his like he outputs a decent amount of damage in team fights. He just gets caught. Like Jackie-Liv kind of. He just has the worst flaw you could have. It's Crowdy. I'm not gonna say, bro. I'm not gonna flame my boy. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm not gonna flame him either. Shanks has no stopwatch. Oh, he has stopwatch. Can they not help him at all? Bro, are they really just, they can't help him at all? What the f? Oh my god, he got flipped again. Hope just inted again. Hope inted again, bro. He's inted every time. No way, bro. No shot. Also, they just didn't help him at all.
Every single time I count Weibo out this game, they find themselves an opportunity. They did it in the mid lane, now they do it around Dragon's.
Why, they just can't help him at all? I don't know, man. Jesus. Oh my god, Bubu. Jesus Christ. Bubu is so I mean, Bubu is really insanely bad, but like it doesn't, it's like Hope shouldn't be getting hit by the W either. Oh my god, they don't see. They can't do anything about it. Oh, he doesn't get the kick. Stopwatch. I mean, it still should be fine, theoretically. It still should be completely okay. They should just kill the Shy or just hit the Shy. Oh, I want he got picked. Oh my god, they're actually going to lose. I mean, that guy's dead. No, they kill him. They kill him. They win. They win. They win. Wow, they don't win. No shot, they lose this. No way, they lost. Wow, they lost this. This is so crazy that they lost this. Insane loss. They completely out-comped them, and they got to the point where they should 100% win, and then they lost. Oh. What? What? They respawned in time? Nah, this is just a bad game. This is such a crazy LPL game. Wait, Hung is just dead? I mean, that's for the Shy. Drake is still alive, though.
Weird picks. There's been a lot of moments where people are getting caught out like there you go.
Oh my god, they're just I mean, this is good. He has GA, he has GA. They don't kill Light? They don't kill Light? Wait, where's the squad? Oh my god. Wait, I thought they would be able to. Wait, what happened to like the whole other side of the fight? It's so sad for WE. I thought that was actually fine from Hope. Like, he was able to kill the other AD carry. The other AD carry goes into GA. He still has his GA. He's 1v1 with Renekton on the side. I actually thought that was okay.
Frankly, disintegrates in front of them, and Weibo will pick up their 10th series win.
God, that was just insane.
And again,
that was just a ridiculous ending to the game. Let me watch that fight again.
there you go.
Oh my god, Bubu. Wait, Shanks didn't ult to the right place. Shanks should have ulted with over here. Maybe is that his max range ult? Maybe he just max range ulted actually because he was topside. Damn. Then Bubu just is griefing.
There you go.
Like Bubu flash E's instead of just playing with Hope. He could literally just not flash E and just walk here and then E here. And then he ults like this. And then instead of like ulting towards the Shy to help out his AD carry so his AD carry lives, he just ults like the 3 people here that can't hit. I mean, this is just so ill. This is so crazy that this is how the game ends, but like, my god. WE deserved to lose for sure. Iwandi is just in there. Look at Iwandi. Look at Iwandi trying to help Hope. He like walks this way. He just gets CC'd by everything. Knocked up. Look at him trying to just help Hope. Throws his Q. Flashes. Look at Iwandi, bro. Just imagine this is your AD carry. What do you do? Just look at the Lulu. trying to help him so badly. Nah, it's too up actually. His team is all types of stuff.
2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to No Jumper News. I am Mikey. I am wearing all black to commemorate our lost homie, the couch. R.I.P. to the couch.
It lives on under us.
We got Court.
Yes.
We got Flacco.
Yo.
That fucking yes sounded hella zesty.
We got.
Yeah, just my ad lib. You gotta listen to my music.
We got Icon.
Drop the link for his Spotify.
We got Remo over here too.
Who died though?
To the couch.
To the couch.
Ooh, they're saying that there's 1,000 pounds on this couch.
The couch.
How much do you weigh?
More than 1,000.
How much do you weigh?
288. Now.
Okay, so I weigh 280 something. How much do you weigh? I stepped on the scale like yesterday. Just
like 270.
Come on, guys. Add that shit up. That shit's less than 900 pounds, folks.
That's like about 8
Wait,
pounds.
pause. And who's saying that the couch is dying though?
The whole chat.
The whole chat.
Yeah, the entire chat comment section was all R.I.P. to the couch.
Yeah, listen,
It's
man.
on its last leg.
Yeah, listen, man. We gotta stay out that chat, man.
Hey, so like we were saying real quick before we get into the story of the century, you won't go to a strip club?
Nah, man, it's haram.
But I thought you said you don't talk about religion on the air.
Yeah, but
So
it's
you
still haram.
But you admitting that you follow that particular
Nah.
set of rules and shit.
No. Listen, haram at this point is just like it's like universal lingo now. You feel me?
Oh no, it's not.
Not to me. I never heard that shit.
Right. But though, you know, bro, like.
So you won't let me take you to a strip club for your birthday?
Nah, but listen.
I can't buy you a prostitute.
Nah, man. As
What
of
if,
lately, man.
what if she's not a prostitute and she's just down to hang out with you and magically top you off?
Nah, we don't need that. What I want is to see his reaction. The chicks taking off their clothes on stage. I would even donate 100 singles for Flacco.
I got a stack on it, but you can't keep it though. Shady ass.
Yo, listen, like, I'm the type of dude who will go to a strip club and see like a black woman stripping and say, "Baby, let me say you, man, chill, bro. Like, why you?
Oh, we gotta go now. We gotta go.
You feel me? Because, bro, like, right now,
What if she
man,
recognizes you? She's like Flacacito.
Nah, man, listen, the last couple months, bro, like, I just been deep into like spirituality, you feel me, and just growing as a person.
But what about all
I just
the?
feel like that's just like a, you know, like that's
What
like
about
a,
what we do for work?
Every time I go to
that's a low vibration.
I grow with
right? Right?
Have you ever been to one?
Nah.
All right, so look,
Have you ever seen a woman take her clothes off?
Yeah, of course.
let's go for 30 minutes, bro.
Yeah, like that.
Strip club is
See
not an
that?
all-night thing. Furthermore,
How about I just take you to eat at one? After we eat, we did.
Yo, I learned from Joe Budden that strip clubs got the best food.
yeah, they do.
So let's go. Bossa.
Why is Bossa here?
Bossa's the man, the myth, the legend.
No, right? Nah.
With the Coiler Ray gear.
Nah, but I definitely heard that strip clubs got the best food, man. But nah,
Hey,
bro.
so let's go eat after.
Nah,
I know
man,
about a strip club up here.
Not at no strip club, man. Listen, I'm staying away from all low vibrational activities, man. Because right now, man,
Your little thing might get some high vibrations.
fam, listen. In 2023, man, I'm just trying to drink my water. You feel me?
I see that.
They got
Get right.
amazing water at these places.
Nah, man.
Nah, yeah,
Alkaline
that ass.
10.0.
The more strippers take their clothes off, it's like it's the better the water get. Like, I'm telling you.
Word?
Not only that,
What about if we blindfold you and take you somewhere for your birthday? Are you into that?
Nah,
for
man.
a vlog?
you
Nah,
said you
man.
into spirituality. Last time I was at the strip club, a woman brought me a Quran and an alcohol-free beer.
Stone her, man.
Stone Hub?
Nah, I just play.
Also, you an Andrew Tate Muslim.
Nah. Listen, I'm not. Listen, man. I've never spoken about like in my religion, but nah. But definitely stone that bitch, man. You feel me? Like you bring in a Quran while you shaking ass and showing pussy lips. Come on, bro.
What if they're not showing pussy?
It's not a strip club.
Listen.
I got titties myself.
We just have
Why do I
to
want
ease
to go
him
to a
in.
titty bar? Nah, ain't no easing in, bro. You go straight when they show pussy, bro.
Look, let's just get to
That's
it.
a strip club.
Nah, but I heard that New York though, like, has like real restrictions, like, right? Like, cause in Fargo, like, and there's one strip club. It's called the Northern, I think, right? Where it's kind of like you can't touch the females, you can't grab nothing. You can't feel like it's real
It's
restricted.
like that in New York, but out here, like it's only like that in New York because they want to serve alcohol, and the rule is if they show everything, they can't serve alcohol.
Oh,
But
wow.
out here, they have spots where it's titty bars.
You seem hella uninterested in this conversation. Just the way your body language is.
What?
You blinking all like you don't like this shit.
What about strip clubs? Nah, listen. Again, I would definitely ask for all my brothers to, to elevate. You feel me, bro? Especially listen, man. In 2023, bro, like the world's a crazy place. We don't know how much longer we got. You feel me? So I would definitely say, listen, man. Just tap into like your scriptures. Rather it's the Bible or
I'm
the
sad
Quran.
for you. I feel sad for you right now.
Why?
Cause fool, you need to experience some shit like that once in your life. It's a wild, crazy place.
Yeah, God made titties. There's titties in the scripture.
Hey, listen, like 7 months ago, or even like last year, bro, I was a fuck nigga, man. You feel me, man? Like in 2023, bro, I'm just trying to elevate past the fuck nigga territory. You feel me, man?
F and how?
Bro, man, I had no discipline. You feel me? I really had like no principles. You feel me?
Yeah, you used to walk around with Vaseline in your bag. That's no discipline.
Where is that Vaseline?
He couldn't keep his hands off himself.
Oh,
He
it's
ran
right
out.
there somewhere. Yo, pass me that to me.
Rip.
Oh no! Erudite should stop talking to Chud Logic because DK is saying
He's got to defend. He's going to defend Lav on this, even though there's no way to do it. There's no possible way you can defend Lav here, but he's going to find a way to do it. Here we go.
crazy shit in the Discord.
Apparently, Mr. Girls fans are trying to get Chud's Discord server banned. Is this true? Man, Mr. Girl sure to go from deplatform nobody to deplatform everybody pretty quickly. Mr. Girl admitting his dog shit article doesn't follow journalistic ethics.
Or anything she said on the call that made me think she saw Lav as any type of adversary, or that she didn't like her, or wouldn't support her coming forward, or knowing this, or even talking about it. Yeah, so I didn't see any reason not to tell her.
Do you think that it was okay for Lab to divulge that on stream before the release of the article?
I'm so glad that Lav exists, because Lav is like the perfect thing to hold up to show that Max has absolutely zero grasp of reality. Most of the questions, Lav is indefensible. She's a pretty disgusting fucking person. Lav and Mr. Girl are both really disgusting, but Max is disgusting out of this sense of like saviordom and like save the world and like this narcissistic weird like personality disorder. Lav is disgusting in this like childlike, I need attention and I want everybody to like me and I'm gonna talk shit about everybody in a very selfish kind of sense, right? It's two different types of disgusting. But an objective, like, can I say purveyor of situations? Purveyor, that's a word, right? Purveyor. Supplies food and provisions. No, surveyor would probably be the word I'm looking for. A surveyor of
they should go after Chud.
The situation.
Who the fuck browses with Opera? Degen behavior.
Would like very easily be able to say that like, yeah, Lav is doing fucking disgusting shit, or Lav shouldn't be doing this, or Lav is like obviously really up. But every time he's asked any question about her, again, because I think so much of his article probably is hinging on Lav's story, he has to defend every single thing she does. Like the fact that if you were trying to hold yourself to some journalistic standard, you're doing an investigation on me, the rapist, and then somebody tells you a story, and then you start telling that to other people, it's just like, that's obviously indefensible. Like, even that's obviously indefensible. But then for Lav to start publicly blathering about that, it's like beyond indefensible. It's like, obviously this is fucking horrible, right?
Do you think that is...
But the fact that he has to stop and think, like, well, how can I defend this person is like the most important, how can I defend the credibility of the person is like the most important, it's like so obviously bad faith.
Okay for Lab to divulge that on stream before the release of the article?
okay for
like it's
Genevieve's like well-being?
No, for the integrity of your article, because I think that may have, or that's one of the things that I think may have compromised the journalistic integrity of the article, is having a subject of the article release information that was supposed to be in the article about another person prior to the article even being out and released.
Yeah, I think that if I don't know what integrity you're referring to. Like you're saying
true. Well, yeah, true. He has no integrity.
Out and released.
Yeah, I don't. I think that if I don't know what.
Out of everything you've done online, is the lab stuff even close to the angle Mr. Girl should be taking if he wants to poke holes in your content? No, I know. That's the thing. Is that like, and again, I'm not perfect, but Lav is like one of the people that I probably would. I think I would use Lav as like a model for like, this is probably how you should treat people who are on your stream that you've also had a sexual relationship with. Like I was so blatantly clear, and Lav knows this. Like I was blatantly clear about boundaries. I was blatantly clear. We didn't do anything sexual when the stream shit was blowing up. I checked in on her to make sure she was going okay. She lied to me. Like I think I played the live situation like by the book, if there was one written for how to deal with it. So it's like, it's so crazy that that's like the centerfold story that he's gonna lean into. That's just like, it's wild that that's the one that he's gonna hang his hat on for like his centerfold like abuse story for the, especially, and then she's got like the worst reputation online. She's destroyed it after the Hassan false allegation shit. She's clearly fucking unhinged. Everybody can fucking see it. It's such a disastrous thing for him to try to like salvage.
Integrity you're referring to, like you're saying that people are going to think that the article was created in an unethical way.
Yeah.
I think that anybody who cares about that is probably already going to think that. And I think that I don't know. I guess I feel like people have made up their minds at this point. I don't I guess I just don't think that was unethical. I guess that I don't even know what you're asking me. Yes, there are people who are going to say that they thought that was very unethical and they were on board with the article until they heard that. There are also endless concern trolls just making stuff up about how they feel and what they think. So I have no idea. We will never know what anybody thinks of that because everyone is lying all the time.
Everybody but me. True.
Okay, but just to be clear, you don't think that that's unethical?
I think it would be unethical.
Watch the whole hotline stream. You'll enjoy it. Colors made Max look even more unhinged than normal.
Ethical for a journalist to do that. I think if I am an abuse victim writing an article about my own abuse.
But it's not about your own abuse, right? It's about you being a creepy rapist, like fucking harasser, reaching out to every fucking person that's ever been on my stream and ever will be on my stream, saying that I'm an abuser, right? It's not just your article.
And I'm talking to another victim about her abuse, and we're talking about a stream we were both on, and I find out that Destiny is in some kind of sexual relationship with almost every single woman on the stream. I don't think that's unethical for me.
Sexual relationship? I think me and Madame Genevieve, I think we traded nudes one time. That was it. One time. And she does OnlyFans. Like, it was one time. I like the active sexual relationship aspect. I also like that he tries to make it sound like he uses this verbiage a lot where he's like, Destiny is pitting all these girls against each other. He's pitting these people together. No, I'm not. Lav was the one that started fights with all of these people. I'm pretty sure Lav's fights with Madame Genevieve started off my stream. I think somebody can remember. I'd have to go back and timeline it. I should know, but I'm pretty sure that Lav started shitting on Madame Genevieve on Chud Logic or something. It was some other stream where they started fighting. I'm not pitting these people. I'm not telling anybody to fight anybody ever. Lav was like fighting everybody on her own. She was like so fucking aggressive because of her positions on sex work.
For me to tell her, given the situation, I think if I were just a journalist and not one of the victims, and or anything she said on.
It matters to me because he wants to kill me, Steven.
I don't care that he wants to kill you. That's not relevant to the conversation.
He wants to kill my family, and he wants to kill my friends. That's
great.
why it matters.
That's cool. That doesn't matter. Using the word
It's
or not using the
cool.
word doesn't mean anything.
It's not cool.
Then go complain to the people that ruined the word. Then now we can't.
He wants Steven to call Nick Fuentes a Nazi and be open about it because it's important to him, because Nick Fuentes wants to kill him, his family, and his friends. He does not want Nick Fuentes to be deplatformed.
I don't think Fuentes should be deplatformed.
Okay.
But you don't have to grow him either.
That, I mean, it's going to be inevitable that anybody that I react with or engage with in some manner is going to experience some growth if they're smaller than me. That's the thing. Mr. Girl is high IQ. You said Haas was high. I think Mr. Girl is very smart. Yeah, he's up there. That just is what it is.
Absolutely.
Higher than Lav.
Now that we've heard it from the horse's mouth or whatever, is that the phrase? Is that the saying? I don't really use cliches like that. I'm a different kind of furry person. True. The better kind of furry person. Okay.
Yeah, I just think it's a total.
I don't call it Hobo Max. I call it Ted Kaczynski Max or Unabomber Max.
Abuse of power.
Abuse of power.
Yeah.
Does Chud really have a power over Lav?
He has power. He has a large Discord server and a decently sized platform. And I think as a result of his actions here, it should be taken away.
Jesus Christ!
So there you go. So there we have it. We played them back to back. We played where he talked about how he does not think that Nick Fuentes should be deplatformed. He talked about how he does believe that Nick Fuentes wants to kill him, his family, and his friends, and that he's a Nazi, and that he wants Steven to rightfully call him the Nazi that he is. That was how that whole fight started. And
okay, maybe we'll look at.
Okay, everything's good. And then I log on to Twitter. What do I see? What do I see?
Rip.
Oh no! Get fucked! Retard!
Okay, what is this guy talking about?
Chud Logic.
The tangling.
Yes.
What about the situation with Louis C.K. where he was jerking off on the bed, and then the girls didn't leave the room; they just watched him jerk off. Maybe she felt kind of like that, where she felt like, I can't really leave. I have to kind of.
Okay, do you see, this is the Destiny shit. This is the like conspiratorial, drawing connections that make no sense between situations that have nothing in common. And then
you're right. Before I even started saying it, I realized that I was doing that. You're right.
Okay, but do you see how that puts me in the position? Do you see how even if you
so many crazies in orbit. What's happening right now?
I am still in the position of having to untangle it. And it's still complex and confusing and mentally exhausting to explain how is you putting your hand on the leg of a photographer who scooted up next to you and wouldn't answer if you were allowed to put your hand on her leg and then scooted forward so you could put your hand on her butt, different from a comedian jerking off in front of other comedians who want to boost their careers, who felt that they couldn't leave the room and then later complained about it publicly. Describing how two things are different is a mentally exhausting task. And I found myself, whenever I would debate Destiny, and now whenever I argue with his fans, I find myself having people tie these knots, and it's like, well, if you don't untie it, then you're a rapist. So I'm like, well, shit, I guess I better start untying it. And then they're like, oh, I hate these meta conversations. And it, like, you can tie those like logical knots, even if they don't make any sense at all, way faster than anyone can untie them. So then, and then it's like, God, you talked the whole time. Why are you talking for 10 minutes straight? It's like, because it takes 10 minutes to explain why what you said didn't make any sense.
He's such a victim.
Okay. Can I shout somebody out?
Yeah.
I want to shout out Corn Dog Torpedo.
Jesus fucking Christ.
He's one of the 2 people who actually DM'd me.
Yeah.
And
he's investigating me, I heard.
Yeah. As much as I could, I tried to represent his point of view. I don't know if you thought that I did a good job or not, but
yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Corn Dog Torpedo.
Shout out Corn Dog Torpedo.
Can I talk to you about Lav? I wanted to talk to you about Lav for a while.
We gotta go to the next caller. You talked to me about Lav for like a second. What? Is it another like, well, if you did this, then how come Lav can do this, and why wouldn't you react the same towards Lav as you did this other thing? Is it one of those?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like you gotta stop
Lavin.
You have to stop joining hands with Lav so much.
I love Lav.
Because she sticks her. You can love somebody but not join hands with them. If one of my best friends killed somebody, I'm not helping him bury the body. Now I'll put some money on his books. I'll visit him. I'm not helping him bury the body. Lav will stick her hand in shit, and then reach out to you, and you'll firmly grasp it. And it's like, why?
I don't agree with that.
Okay. Recently on Twitter, Erudite said, if somebody who's a part of my community...
somebody super chatted about this, so this is good. We can answer their question.
If somebody's a part of my community and they are harassing you, send me a DM or something like that, and they'll get banned or dealt with or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Lav starts bringing up how Erudite should stop talking to Chud Logic because DK is...
He's got to defend. He's going to defend Lav on this, even though there's no way to do it. There's no possible way you can defend Lav here, but he's going to find a way to do it. Here we go.
Crazy shit in the Discord. These things, they very barely. This is like the tangling web. They so very barely correlate with one another, and like it's like two totally different topics. One is, handle dealing with other content creators who might do something that you disagree with, or have somebody underneath them in their community that you disagree with. And the other is people in my community who do shit that I disagree with. Like, and for her to try to tangle the two together and then make Erudite have a hard stance, and then you join hands, you grab onto the shit-covered hand in order to support her, it's like, bro, you look crazy. You look crazy. And I feel like you do this all the time with Lav, because Lav just loves sticking her hand in shit.
Okay.
How hard is it not to join a panel with 10 different people and have them, like, it's shocking. I can't believe she's still doing it.
I think it was a totally appropriate time to bring up that request.
Jesus.
You think that Erudite saying, if someone's in my community and they're harassing you, I'll do something about it, to say, well, Chud Logic talks to you sometimes, really not even that often, but you have a working relationship with him, and his editor was in a Discord saying crazy shit about me. So what are you gonna do about that?
I know what happened. You don't have to explain it to me.
You think that that's a perfect time to?
Well, maybe the audience doesn't know what happened. Okay, Chud Logic is a streamer, and Not So Erudite is a streamer. And Erudite told Lav, who is also a streamer. She doesn't stream that often, but that if someone in Erudite's community is harassing anybody, she tweeted this out. Let her know, and she'll ban them. And Lav took the opportunity to say that ChudLogic's editor, who has been, I think, bullying her for months at this point.
Probably deserved it.
Thumbnails calling her a whore, calling her a bitch. ChudLogic's
editor is like Forethought. He's just like a bastard.
Yeah,
Is
he's really
Forethought
mean.
a bastard?
ChudLogic himself calling Lav a whore and a bitch multiple times in his streams.
He has to double down because of his editor, unfortunately.
And if he is a coward, he does. He doesn't have to do that.
True.
Like I wouldn't. If anyone.
You're
on
doubling
any
down on
team
every single
that
thing
I
Lav
have
is
control
saying
over
ever.
in my community did any of these things, they would be gone instantly. So I don't agree. It's not like there's a fucking lack of editors out there either. Like, I'm sure ChudLogic could find another editor instantly. So yeah, I would have absolutely zero tolerance for any of it. Oh, but the thing is, I wouldn't post the fucking video. Like if someone's making a thumbnail for me and they were like, let's call this person a cunt in the thumbnail, I would just like be like, no. So I don't. He doesn't. There's a lot of things ChudLogic could have done differently that he didn't do.
Is this the last level? No, I don't.
But I think yeah, maybe for 48 hours.
Lav literally called a trans woman a man in a wig
where you
last
don't
week.
own the
Yeah,
actions
Lav is
of your,
a little bit.
I think he's
a
his
rat
Discord
femme, so she
admin.
doesn't believe in trans people at all.
But then after that, I think if you don't do anything about it, then it's on you. So I don't see this as DK's actions. I see this as ChudLogic's actions. So to me, it makes perfect sense if Erudite is saying, let me know about somebody in my community, and Leah says, or Lav says,
what about somebody in somebody else's
ChudLogic
community?
is harassing me. He's allowing his editor to say that he hopes I get bullied until I kill myself.
Based.
And he also, after finding out somebody was sending around pictures of my house and telling random people to tell me that they were going to come to my house, he, DK said in a public chat that he hopes they kill the bitch I live with.
I don't think he said kill. I think he said deal with.
Oh, sorry, take out.
Yeah, take out.
Okay. So to me, ChudLogic owns that. If he is not deleting that chat message, which to my knowledge, I mean, to the best of my knowledge, he hasn't, and I think it was a few days ago.
Lav went full roast in Chud's chat. Yeah, but he always has a reason for why nothing that Lav does is ever too much. Lav always has carte blanche to act in whatever crazy fucking way she wants, and there's always a justification or rationale for it. So he'll never criticize Lav on any of her behaviors ever, or at least at the very least, it's never like too far beyond the pale. Like, it's understandable she did this because like that's just like, let's live Lav, lie. That's the pattern, and Max will always enable that. But again, remember, a big chunk of his article, arguably, it might be the biggest part of his article, since they don't have Anna support as much, is built around Lav's condemnation of me and accusations of abuse. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna try to spin on me. So no matter what happens, he has to stick with Lav because she is like such a linchpin in his article.
That he owns that. He's publishing that. That's him. That's him endorsing somebody saying they hope Shaylin is murdered. And I take that shit pretty seriously. So I think it's totally appropriate to raise it with Kyla and say, like, yeah, like I'm sure ChudLogic is a member of her Discord. I'm sure she didn't ban him after Lav brought that up. And like, yeah, I think our standards for who we stream with should be similar to our standards for who we have in our community. Otherwise it makes no, like, I could have someone in my community threaten to kill another streamer, and then I ban them. But then if they become a streamer, I'm gonna start streaming with them. Like, no, to me it's the same thing. Like, I'm not gonna work with somebody who does that shit. I think it's even it should be an even higher standard because you're directly making money by collaborating. You're making money off of turning your.
No way do I lose this. This is gonna be the easiest fucking hold in the world.
Which I think is really, really bad. and then yeah, to be like the self-proclaimed mental health person, and then throw your hands up and say, I don't care, this has nothing to do with
He
me.
really hates her
And
after the
then
Dr.
send, like
K
a
shit.
snarky like meme at me when I'm like, okay, then I'm not like I don't like we're done then.
Has he said when he's releasing the article? Apparently in a few days.
Is that it's more difficult to uphold those kinds of standards with content creators than it is to do with random chatters and people in your community. And so making that request, like she's like
Wait, but Destiny wouldn't even do that. There's no one else in the entire sphere who allows their employees to behave that way that I know of. There's no one else posting thumbnails. There's no one else posting thumbnails calling people cunts.
The problem
or
is that Lav wasn't asking Chud Logic to take responsibility for his.
She wanted her to blacklist.
I'm not saying she was. I know.
Okay, so
Chud Logic is not going to. Chud Logic has been asked. And he didn't
I understand. What I'm saying is the ask for Erudite to hold another content creator accountable.
You're saying, yeah, I know. I'm responding to what you just said. Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Now I'm getting angry.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You just said
he's getting triggered, guys.
That it's
Look at this.
unrealistic
Easy.
to hold content creators
Easy.
to that standard.
Hold on.
And my rebuttal is, it's not that unrealistic because there's only one fucking person out of these like 20,
easy.
25,
It's easy, I think. Yeah.
various levels of Destiny orbiters who would allow that behavior in their Discord server, including Destiny.
May I respond to that point?
Yes.
When I said it's unrealistic to hold content creators to that standard, I'm saying it's unrealistic for Erudite to hold a content creator to the standard of a person in her community. That's what I'm saying.
South is
Not
gone.
that it's unreasonable for
South
Chud
ain't
Logic
gone. South is holding
be
strong.
It doesn't have to be. You're okay.
Okay.
I think you're making a false equivalence in saying that there should be holding them to the same standard. I imagine in Kyla's community, if you call someone a stupid cunt, I could imagine that maybe you would get timed out
So
or
easy.
temporarily banned for that behavior.
Okay.
Right?
Probably, yes.
Lav's not going to Kyla and saying.
Okay. okay? Is it morally okay for someone to make death threats towards somebody who makes fun of the Prophet or Islam?
No, I told you it's morally okay to respond with violence. I
It
didn't
is
say that
morally
it's morally
okay. It is
Yeah,
or
it is
isn't?
morally. It is 100% morally okay. What is Islamophobia?
Colloquially speaking, Islamophobia usually means you hate Muslims. I don't hate Muslims, but I don't like Islam, and I don't like violent Muslims that are defending Islam with violence. But like most Muslims in the United States aren't like that. They're generally pretty chill. It's not even
$80,000 off of
targeted
their
towards the person. What do you mean? You don't have the right to go around and be so offended that you want to kill somebody because they make fun of your fairy god. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and to
what-
compare
what-
that to somebody...
what-
Wait, can I...
what
Wait,
gives
can
you
I...
What about the death threats and other such calls to violence to Destiny that you think do you find reasonable?
So we have to look at this from like an Islamic perspective.
I had a little bit of a problem finding guests for this panel because most of the people that I interviewed to come on were not. They were toss risk. Let's just say the things that they told me
Or
they wanted to tell you.
Interesting.
It wasn't.
Or they thought of him as the fucking boogeyman, according
Yeah,
to you.
a few didn't want to talk to you at all, and
Uh-huh.
a few would only talk to you in a one-on-one setting.
I mean, I can always talk one-on-one, or like even without a moderator. Oh, I don't care. You know, whoever wants to talk, whatever.
So it is what it is. Oh no, I had just promised a certain format to Karantos and Uzmark, who apparently didn't show, and so I was. They wanted me to make it a one-on-one, and I said, nah, I'm not gonna do that to poor Karantos here. Karantos not gonna kick you off, Karantos, just because someone wants me to. So Karantos will be good. I think he will be an interesting interlocutor, even if Uzmark doesn't show up, and I am very disappointed that he is not here. But we will go on, and we will do what we can. So here we are. Let's start the show, gang. If he gets here, he gets here. Okay. Welcome to another episode of WIC TV, a cross-ideological space where we discuss topics political and cultural, from the silly to the serious. Tonight we're going to be discussing Islam, Islamophobia, and some of Destiny's takes regarding the Muslim community. My guest here, Karantos, has had some issues with how Destiny has interacted and has asked me to set up a face-to-face discussion, which I have, and Destiny has graciously accepted. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Karantos! What are some of your problems here? Why were you so excited to be here tonight?
Listen, I seen the fucking vile shit that he put on Twitter, and me and my brothers were talking about all sorts of shit when you reached out to me and you said, "Hey, I gotta sit down with the man himself," and I was ready to jump on the opportunity. I'll keep it quick and concise, right? First of all, Destiny, also known as Stephen Kenneth Bonnell II, also known as Lil Steve, also known as Cuxton, he goes by many names. I see on Twitter he posts Bob the Minecraft dude, right? Mining the Kaaba. Now,
Hold on, that was Steve, the Minecraft dude, to be clear. Go ahead.
Steve. Okay, Steve the Minecraft guy. Right? I seen him mine the Kaaba, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I chuckled about how fucking insane that shit was, right? Because it didn't make sense. It was completely unprovoked. And of course, some Muslims responded to him. And due to their response, he proceeded to go on a multi-day Islamophobic tirade against our prophet and our faith. And I looked at it, I was like, okay, so why the f is he doing this? Did he debate a Muslim recently about Islam? Were certain Muslims coming at him? No, it was completely unprovoked. And then he decided to play victim. He said, look at all of these Muslims. Look at these rabid, insane, mean Muslims bullying me in my DMs. Oh my God, Elon, do something about these guys. They're being mean to me. This is ridiculous. Elon, you're not running your platform correctly. Of course he's not running his platform correctly if you're still on Twitter while you're ban evading. So you should be grateful to the man that he's ass at his job, right? And then he decided to keep playing this victim, although I distinctly remember this man himself ridiculing the alleged victim of, what's his name, Rich Campbell, the co-owner of OTK, and he repeatedly kept calling her a retard because she didn't take accountability. She allowed a man that kept wanting to sleep with her up to her apartment, fully knowing that the guy is a full degenerate, and he kept pushing the idea of accountability. Like the man is borderline a f***ing victim blamer as it gets, right? Yeah, he refuses to take accountability for the fuck shit that he does.
You said you were going to be concise.
I'll conclude it, right? But But he's not taking accountability. He's not taking accountability whatsoever because the man understood the risks that he was taking mocking Islam. Because he makes fun of his cut brother in arms, Nico, for the fact that he doesn't speak ill of Islam after Muslims gave him a hard time for mocking the prayer. Right? So he knew what he was doing. He fully knew what he was doing. And the fact is, he just wanted to posture. He just wanted to look tough for his retarded Discord dwelling Reddit moderating insane face, right? He just wanted to look tough for them, and in fact he has boldened quite a few liberals and quite a few people on the left to start disrespecting Islam, because ever since he started speaking crazy, I've seen plenty of Muslims get disrespected and our prophet be disrespected because they've been emboldened by destiny. And to conclude, I'll just tell him, listen, you poke at the hornet's nest, just be prepared to get stung. It's that simple.
Do you have a response to that? Have you emboldened Islamophobia?
I could hope so. I'd only be so lucky. Do you think that it's like acceptable, or do you think it's okay that if you make fun of a certain religion, those people will come after you with death threats?
I 100% I'm comfortable with the idea that people will come at you for violence when you disrespect not only their faith, but their
Just so you
family.
know, when you're done with
anything
this,
that
I'm
they
going to
hold dear.
re-ask the same question that you don't want to answer.
Yeah, no, keep doing it.
Okay, so my question is, do you think it's acceptable that if somebody goes after religion, those religious followers will come after them with death threats? Do you think that's an okay thing?
I do not approve of any sort of death threats. But we all know, by the way, let's not play games. We all know that these death threats are mainly and mostly empty. 100%. 99.9%. In fact, if not 100% of the people that are quote-unquote threatening Destiny's life. By the way, this man has been threatened numerous times just to go and show you how f***ing garbage and empty these death threats are. He's just mad that Muslims gave him shit for his disrespect towards Islam. That's it.
Okay, I'm asking you again. Do you think it's okay for someone to make death threats towards somebody?
Wait, did you just not hear me? Wait, 1 second. Did you just not hear me? I'm pretty sure I answered you in the beginning. I told you that.
You said I don't approve. I'm not asking. I'm asking you, okay, is it morally okay for someone to make death threats towards somebody who makes fun of the Prophet or Islam?
No, I told you it's morally okay to respond with violence.
It is morally okay. It is.
Yeah, it is morally. It is 100% morally okay. In fact, if you were to look not only across Islam only, it's not only exclusively for Islam, but for the vast majority of religions and for the vast majority of cultures, if you not only come at not their religion, but at their loved ones or anything that they hold dear, they respond with violence.
Okay. We're like a fundamental thing then. I think people like that don't belong in liberal society. If you think that that's acceptable. Yeah.
I mean, liberal society and religion will never coexist. For liberalism to thrive, you'll need to eliminate religion. So obviously,
no, that's not true. There's a lot of Muslims in the United States that don't share your view. There's a lot of Christians in the United States that don't have the view. There's a lot of Jewish people in the United States and other religions as well that don't share the view.
Would you say those people practice Islam the way that it's meant to be practiced?
Well, the way that you think it's meant to be practiced?
No, not the way that I think it's meant to be practiced, because the deen is clear, the faith is clear.
It's obviously it's not clear when you've got huge divides even in the Middle East over how you practice your religion, right? It's obviously not clear.
So are you telling me that divides in the Middle East are as similar as in the West and what they believe? Because the liberal Muslims in the West are completely comfortable with ideas such as homosexuality, for example.
Okay.
So it's nowhere near similar. The difference is...
I don't care. Well, I mean, the people in the Middle East are literally killing themselves over the differences in their religion and other issues, right? So, I mean, yeah, it seems like there are pretty big disagreements. I'm just saying it's not obviously a clear-cut thing.
Yeah, it's nothing is completely unanimous where 100 out of 100 people completely agree on how a certain verse is interpreted or how a certain law needs to be put into place, obviously. But for the vast majority of Muslims, we are in agreement as to how our faith should be practiced. And for the vast majority of those Muslims, they cannot coexist within Muslims or within liberal society whatsoever.
Okay. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to exist with those guys, but I mean, like, where does that like a fundamental impasse?
Of course, you described this. Yeah, of course, you described us as savages online.
Well, what you're describing is savagery. Yeah, of course.
What is savagery about what I'm describing?
Killing somebody for posting a picture of your ferryman is savage. It's savagery. Yeah.
No. Get this correct. I said that it's completely 100% correct. If, let's say, somebody punched you in the mouth, I have no problem with it. Just like if I were to go out of my way and disrespect somebody's mother and they were to punch me in my mouth, that is 100% within their right. That is what I believe. Now, do I believe that somebody needs to chop your head off? Absolutely not. I do not agree with that. So you need to get it correct, because you keep trying to paint me into this corner where I'm saying that I am comfortable with people killing you, which I am not.
Okay. It doesn't really change what I'm saying, but just like the violence in response to somebody disrespecting your shitty religion, I just is fundamental incompatible with my view of society. So, but I mean,
and you're willing to 100% take on the mantle of an Islamophobe, right? You believe in it.
If that's what Islamophobia means, then sure, Islam.
Then define. No, 1 second. Define Islamophobia according to then.
I
Since
don't.
Clearly, let's see. We're on the
As
same
a
page.
liberal in Western society, my beliefs on how society should be ran are incompatible with people who think it's okay to respond with violence to people that make fun of their religion. So if that makes me an Islamophobe, then I'll be an Islamophobe. If you think it's a core tenet, if you think it's a core tenet of Islam to respond with violence to people that post pictures of the Prophet, then those people. If that makes me Islamophobic, then sure.
Okay, so I'll ask you again, because that didn't answer my question whatsoever. Define Islamophobia to me according to what you believe it is. What is Islamophobia?
Colloquially speaking, Islamophobia usually means you hate Muslims. I don't hate Muslims, but I don't like Islam, and I don't like violent Muslims that are defending Islam with violence. But like most Muslims in the United States aren't like that. They're generally pretty chill here. I don't know where the f you're from, but
I have a question maybe to kind of get us on some kind of track, right? Apologies, I've been desperately DMing the people who are supposed to show, and they're just not responding. So we'll make do. So you mentioned that Destiny. You mentioned that you don't find it acceptable for people to make violent threats based on making fun of their religion online. Where to you, just so we can get a baseline here, when do you find violence acceptable? Like, at what point can someone cross a line? And once that line is crossed, it's like, okay, violence is okay to do to this person.
You're asking me or him?
You.
You. I'm not Destiny.
I mean, violence is okay in self-defense, I guess. Is generally when I approve of violence or violence mandated by the state for the purpose of enforcing like laws and stuff.
Okay, so if someone is verbally abusive, under no circumstances, I'm
No,
just trying to
fuck
get
no.
a.
No, if somebody calls you a
enough.
mean name and you go and attack them, fuck no, that's insane.
Okay, good to know.
In my opinion.
What do you think? Obviously, you have different opinions, Karantos, but for you, Karantos, where is that line? You are obviously okay if someone's mocking religion. How, like, does it have to reach a certain level of mockery, or any mockery whatsoever can be answered with violence at the drop of the hat? Does it have to be a repeated offense? Or what is your, where are your lines, Karantos?
No, absolutely. I believe that since you cannot police or figure out people's intentions and what they believe inside, right? I'd say if somebody is coming to you with constructive criticism or with criticism of any kind when it comes to your faith, I believe that that should be actually listened to and you should engage with it. But if people are purely coming to disrespect your faith and to ridicule everything that you hold near and dear to your heart, then I believe 100% it is justified, without a shadow of a doubt, to be violent, 100%. Because I'll tell you this much, right? If you misgender a transgender person, would Destiny not consider that to be a sort of violence against them? Would he not consider it an attack
I don't know.
that hurts them or
You
that
can
may
ask
lead them? No, he's free to answer when I'm done talking. But would he not consider that, first of all, transphobia, right? And second of all, leading a person that may be vulnerable into possibly hurting themselves even more? What would you say to that, Destiny?
Man, you know, you got me. I'm a huge simp for those trans people. No.
Clearly you're not, but I'm
Yeah,
just interested in your
obviously
take.
not. Is it transphobic? Yeah, it could be, but I don't think you can respond to transphobia with violence.
No, I'm not saying that they although some of them do respond with violence.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
saying,
don't approve of that.
Would it not be considered in some sort of ways violent for you to misgender somebody, especially if their mental state is so unstable that they view themselves as something that they're not? Because apparently, at last time I checked, you claim to be rooted in reality, and that's why you don't believe in mysticism, and that's why you don't believe in religion.
I mean, you can call it a
100%
type of
fully-
violence, sure, but like if we're gonna define violence as broadly as that, then I'm not gonna say you can respond to that violence with actual physical violence.
No, I'm just curious. So your line is physical violence. What you have a big problem against is physical violence. That's it.
But I mean, that's a pretty big deal, yeah.
No, I mean, sure, but if I were to misgender somebody and they were to go kill themselves, that would also be considered. I would say that that is way more fucked up than, let's say, a Muslim going out of his way to jumping you or something, and then maybe like giving you a black eye. Wouldn't that make sense?
No, I disagree. I mean, unless we're
How-
talking
how would
like
you disagree?
targeted bullying, where you're like DMing this person, you're getting your whole crew to like gang stalk somebody or whatever. No, just misgendering somebody is not a call for return to violence. No, bullying somebody isn't something you can respond to with violence. I don't believe so.
Okay.
Bullying someone. Well, you mentioned certain types of bullying might elicit kind of a moral response to you. If you are being harassed every day, constantly,
Yeah, like if some dude was like
in
running
and
in
out.
front of you every day screaming in your face or something,
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
at some point, but like just like mean words on the internet? No.
Fair enough.
So you're saying, okay, so 1 second. So does it depend on the amount of times that it happens?
I mean, yeah,
Right.
it could depend on amount of times, proximity. There are some things where theoretically it could be bad, but like it's going to be pretty hard to get there on the internet for like normal people, I think.
What? Aren't you the same man that wanted to kill somebody for DDoSing you a few years ago? I wouldn't say that it's an insane line that is impossible. Of course, if you don't consider yourself normal, then ignore everything that I'm saying.
So I'm the same man
But-
who wanted to kill somebody who was cutting away all of my income, who I had no recourse to the FBI or the police when I had a child to support and a house to care for, and a guy was basically slashing my tires every single day when I was trying to go into work. Yeah, I was getting pretty desperate in that situation, correct. You trying to prove a point
Okay.
there?
So, no, let me get somewhere. So you are comfortable with not only violence, but killing somebody, even though they didn't hurt you physically, or they didn't do anything to you other than cut your source of income.
Yeah, if somebody
you are
was
100%
if somebody
comfortable
was
killing
like
somebody.
Yeah, I guess if somebody was cutting your source of income every day that you used to support your family, then yeah, I probably would. Yeah, go for it. If you came outside every single day and some guy was slashing your tires and he wouldn't stop and you called the police and nobody wanted to do anything, despite having proof for it, and you're like, well, I'm gonna have to attack this dude and maybe even kill him. Yeah, sure, go for it. I think that's okay.
So you're claiming that this same person that was DDoSing you was also slashing your tires, or are you
I
just
don't think
using
that's
it
what
as
it
an
is.
analogy?
It's the
You're just using
equivalent. It's the equivalent.
So you're telling me because you were DDoSed and you weren't able to provide for your family, you would 100% resort and you would justify, you would still stand by it today?
Yeah, of
Because
course.
according to you, so till this day you stand by it, because there's plenty of things that you say you do not stand by, that you cringe at because it happened in the past. So is this one not one of those things?
No, this is something I would stand by. Absolutely. This is like an easy. Yeah, of course.
So just because your income is being cut, it justifies you killing somebody. Now, how does that put it at a higher level than how Muslims hold the Prophet, peace be upon him?
Because
Explain that one to me.
Because it's not even remotely close to the same. What do you mean? Your income is tied to your ability to provide for the survival of your family. Whether or not somebody's
Was it the
posting
only way, but it wasn't the only way that you could provide for your family. Let's be serious now, right? It's not like your life is completely forfeit and your family is going to die because you can't stream on Twitch.
No, but why would I let
That's
a
not the
random
case.
third party attack my main source of income? I mean, theoretically, anybody could work a different job, but like.
And you're telling me that that wouldn't be the logical next step to take?
No,
next step to
why
take
the
would
you
be
let
to
a
go
guy
kill them.
essentially rob $80,000 a year from you? Fuck no, that's insane.
Okay, so you're telling me that your next logical step to that was not to go get a job, was because that you were being robbed off of $80,000 a year, that it would 100% make sense to go kill that person.
Yeah, if they
And
wouldn't
how does
stop.
that,
Yeah, of
so
course.
how does that make you? So how does that make you different from these so-called extremists that you face on Twitter?
Is somebody losing
that just
income when
threaten
when I post a picture of Muhammad?
No, again.
Is somebody
you say
being
that-
threatened when I post a picture of Muhammad?
Now let me answer you.
Well, no,
You
wait,
say
answer.
that-
Make it analogous. Let's make it
No,
analogous now.
No. I'm answering you, right? I literally did. You didn't listen previously, so I'll repeat
Okay,
myself
so
again.
nobody's being harmed.
The
Nobody's
reason-
losing income. It's
no,
not
1 second.
comparable.
The reason that you did not, the reason that you felt so strongly about that person that you wanted to kill him is because not only you, but your child and your wife were at risk, that they were losing income. Yet you completely dismiss the fact that that Muslims hold the Prophet in equal regard to their parents, if not higher. So why wouldn't they feel disrespected that you are tarnishing his name and giving his image a bad light to all these people that are consuming your content, that are following you on Twitter?
The connection
That
doesn't
would
make. The connection is
No,
not working.
There is 100% a connection. The reason why you felt so strong and you wanted to kill the person was because they were putting your family at risk. They were putting your ability to put food on the table at risk.
Yes.
Because you love these people and you wanted to provide for them.
Yes.
Right?
Am I threatening somebody's ability to put food on the table when I post pictures of Muhammad?
Now again, it's not a complete one-to-one.
It's not a one to anything. It's not even remotely
It
comparable.
absolutely is, because you're not listening to me. I'm telling you the fact that Muslims hold the Prophet in such high regard that they wouldn't take and they wouldn't tolerate any sort of disrespect, especially coming from somebody that has absolutely no right moral framework whatsoever.
I don't care. It
Because you're
doesn't matter if
100%
you.
comfortable
No,
with
it's
killing
not
a
even.
person
It's not
because
even.
they cut
It's not
$80,000
even
off of their
targeted
income.
towards the person. What do you mean? You don't have the right to go around and be so offended that you want to kill somebody because they make fun of your fairy god. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and to
what-
compare
what-
that to
so-
somebody.
yeah,
Wait,
what gives you the
can I
right to kill
finish
somebody?
one sentence?
Stop.
Can I finish one thing
Karatas,
before he like
you gotta
soys the
let him-
out?
You gotta let him finish his point, and then you can respond. I promise you. There's only 2 of you here, so you'll have all the time in the world. Destiny, go ahead.
Yeah. Posting pictures online of somebody does not represent a material harm or threat to another person. If you want to do some crazy mental gymnastics to make that the equivalent of attacking somebody's job, that's fine.
Wait, does
but
it
like
not?
I said,
So images
wait,
are
can I
fine.
finish? Can I
Karatas, I will
finish?
mute you.
Can you mute him?
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you want to do some crazy mental gymnastics to make that the same or similar to threatening somebody's livelihood or whatever, that's fine. But I'm going to say that that religious viewpoint is incompatible with my view of society. I would have all of those people removed from whatever country I'm in because that's dysfunctional.
Okay, I'll unmute, and you may respond. Karatas, go ahead.
So this man just said that images do not equate harm in any way, shape, or form. That images should 100% just be allowed if somebody wanted to post images of the Holocaust, let's say, and just joke about it.
Sure, knock
That there's
yourself out. Yeah,
nothing
go for it.
harmful, there is nothing harmful or anti-Semitic about it whatsoever.
Well, I didn't say there wasn't anything harmful or anti-Semitic. I'm just saying that harmful and anti-Semitic images can't be responded to with violence.
No. You just said that you are not harming anybody by posting the images that you did.
I
by
didn't say
speaking
that.
about
I
Islam
never
that-
said that.
You just said that.
Karatas, a minute.
Hi,
can you
guy.
well,
Can you hear me?
Yes, give us a second, Uzmark. You're a little late. We're gonna let them go out a little bit, and then we'll get you in there, I promise you. Karatos, Destiny, right? Well, I'll ask Destiny directly. Destiny, if someone posts Holocaust pictures or other photos, do you think it's right to do violence to them?
No, of course not. The term I used earlier was material harm. If you're like actually damaging somebody's livelihood.
He didn't.
I
Okay,
literally
sure.
did. There's tons of
Okay,
ways you
sure.
can harm somebody. For instance, you gave me that transphobic example earlier, and I said, yeah, that probably would be transphobic, which would probably be harmful. But I said, I don't think you can respond to that with violence. You literally gave me that as an example earlier. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I don't think you can respond to all forms of harm, especially if we're defining harm very broadly with violence. That's insane.
No, what I asked you was, you say that you do not consider posting the image that you did of Steve mining the Kaaba or of the Prophet, right? You say that these are not harmful. That's what you said. That's what
I
you
never
stated.
said that. So many people might consider that harmful, which I'm fine with. That's okay. But you can't respond to a picture harm with violence. That's insane.
Okay. Would you feel the same if someone was posting pictures of your address?
No.
Like,
no. Obviously, that's a different thing because we're not talking about a picture there. That's like saying, like, what if somebody posted a picture that contained the exact instructions to create like a nuclear pipe bomb? No, obviously not. But the issue there isn't the picture of the. It's not the picture. It's that you're giving instructions for somebody to do harm to something. So, like, if you're, for instance, if you posted a picture of like my house and my kid outside, that would probably not be okay. But not because you're posting like an offensive picture, because it's like a call to violence.
Obviously, doxing somebody is completely different.
Sure,
than
I
what
was just
we're
because
talking about
we
here.
gave it.
Okay, no, I understand. But okay, so you're telling me if somebody posted deepfake child porn of your kid, you wouldn't want to kill that person?
Yeah, I probably would, but I wouldn't.
Okay.
So you what? Get the f out of here! That is such a non-answer.
Stop.
It's not a non-answer at all. There's a lot of things that
You
people
said
do.
you would, but I wouldn't.
Ratos, I will mute you again.
There's a lot of things that people can make you do in life that might make you want to kill that person. There's a difference between having a desire to do something versus saying it's morally permissible to do it. These are two fundamentally. That's why I kept asking you, is it okay for somebody to threaten violence towards me if I make fun of Muhammad? And you kept saying, well, I wouldn't approve, blah, blah, blah. I don't care if you approve. I'm not asking you to approve. We're having a conversation on morals or ethics. It's ethical to do so. There are going to be some things in society that are going to be understandable that probably wouldn't be ethical. If a guy went into a park and another dude like smacked his son and the guy like killed the guy for doing it, like ethically, that's probably not okay. But like, I understand why the dude would do it. These are different questions. If you want to ask me questions, be precise, and I'll give you a precise answer.
Okay, at this point, what I want to do is introduce Uzmark, who initially came to me with this source. I'm assuming daylight savings threw you off.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, I came back just to my computer. I just went outside for a moment. I came back and I was like, oh shit, it's already started. I assumed it was going to start at 3 o'clock. For me here, it's 2:30 in the morning, so I don't know what happened. I think daylight savings.
No, I get it. I almost fucked up.
But I wanted to give you a chance. We've gotten into it a little bit, but I know you were the one who initially reached out to me and said you had a lot of problems with some of the things that Destiny has said and the interactions he's had. So I wanted to give you a chance to kind of hash that out and kind of give us why did you reach out to me? What caused you to want to talk to Destiny about what he's done? So.
Yeah, so I wrote a little opening statement, but I suppose it's moot now because we've already jumped into it.
If I can read it, why not? Go for it.
Okay, sure, why not? I'll go for it. So right away, I want to say that I'm not an Islamic scholar, right? I'm not an expert in Islamic theology. If during the course of this discussion any of those topics come up, just know that I'm like, don't take what I say as gospel. Like, I don't. All I can say is just what upon my knowledge, and that's should be taken just as that. So like, if we touch upon the topic of like, is Islam a force for good or ill or not? Like, I think we're gonna have trouble coming to some like any real conclusions and overcoming the fundamental differences in the philosophical like foundations. Like the definition of good and for a divine command theorist is just doesn't exist for a moral anti-realist. So it's going to be a difficult discussion to have if we touch on that. For the topics that concerned Destiny's tweeting, my goal isn't to woke skull Destiny for being like for being Islamophobic or for being an Islamophobe. Like, I've seen people try similar things before, and it's been an effort in futility, really. But I do think a discussion or acknowledgement of Islamophobia is pertinent, as it's an issue that frames this whole discussion. I've tried to keep my aim clear and concise, is to argue that the reactions of Muslims, as outraged as they've been, should not be characterized as fragility, as Destiny often and repeatedly has. And if you do see it as fragility, it's a rational, logical, and warranted fragility, at least from an Islamic perspective. And it's also...
Let's ask directly, what about the death threats and other such calls to violence to Destiny that you think, do you find reasonable?
So we have to look at this from like an Islamic perspective to understand like whether you would characterize the death threats or the silencing of someone as fragility. So for like the Islamic outrage that Destiny has experienced, right, is at least, I think, rationally and logically commensurate with mocking the Prophet. From an Islamic perspective, it's internally consistent. So like to characterize it as fragility is extremely harmful, and it's pernicious, and as well as the other things that Destiny said, that Muslims are violent and such and so forth. We can talk about that later on in the future. But I think to characterize Muslims as fragile and the connotations that go along with that is extremely pernicious.
Can we, just on asking for that definition, with that definition of fragility, isn't by definition then literally nobody fragile? Like if I use that same thing, so like let's say for instance somebody comes out and they say like, oh, like I think that white people are like the mayonnaise of people, and somebody's like, that's horrible, that's evil, I can't believe you'd say that, and you're like, oh well, you're fragile. Couldn't I wheel out this explanation and say, well, within the context of a society where this individual feels like their whiteness is under attack and it's being heralded by the media as a great thing to shut on white people, he's actually not being fragile. Like I feel like from an individual's perspective, they're never really being fragile. No? Like,
sure. Yeah. Something can be fragile. Everything could be fragile, or nothing could be fragile, depending on some person's personal subjective experience.
Sure.
But I think if we can agree on some fundamentals, or if you can understand the Muslim perspective, at least to a degree, I put forth a little syllogism for you. If you can somewhat understand or agree with them, even slightly, I think we shouldn't characterize Muslims as fragile for how they've been acting. So, premise one. The Prophet is an ultimate example for mankind from now until the end of time. He's central to the Islamic faith, which is humanity's key to heaven and the afterlife. If his example is obscured, humanity's salvation is threatened. 2, mocking the Prophet has no benefit, unlike a critique or investigation into something that you may disagree with, other than to reduce the gravity of the Prophet. Other than to reduce his gravity and his authority, and worst of all, potentially obscures the historical record of his example. Obscuring the historical record of the Prophet's example is a threat to all humanity. Therefore, mocking the Prophet should be silenced. Now, we can discuss the soundness of it, and we can discuss the premises, but if we can agree to its validity, I think we can also agree that Muslims shouldn't be characterized as fragile, not irrationally fragile.
Sure. Can I ask you directly? Do you believe that? Do you believe? So you are a practicing Muslim, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So do you believe that the Prophet Muhammad is the key to mankind's salvation?
I do. Yes.
I do. So do you think, right, like that? Do you feel threatened when he is mocked? Do you feel like humanity is threatened?
Me personally?
Yes, you personally.
No, not necessarily. Okay. No, I don't. Not me personally.
So, being that you are a practicing Muslim, right? Being that you are a practicing Muslim and you share the faith, right? What is the difference between you and someone, a Muslim who would feel that way, who would feel personally threatened over all this?
Well, it's about the
Is it
even the
fragility?
yeah, it's about the even slightest. It's not about fragility. It's about warranted or irrational, unwarranted fragility. If there's even the slightest chance that a inaccuracy of the prophet crystallizes, then the entire concept of humanity, the entire faith, is threatened. Now, I might not necessarily think that Destiny's tweets in particular are threatening that concept or threatening the Islamic faith, but you have to understand that the Islamic faith is a faith from now, or sorry, from when the prophet was conceived until the end of time. And so there has to be Islamically some logical structure to protect that. It's meant to be from the people like talking about the prophet in the desert sands, to Destiny talking on Twitter, to the fucking humanity when we're all half cyborgs, and even after that when the apocalypse has happened and we're all back to sticks and stones. So even though I might necessarily personally right now feel threatened by Destiny's tweets, I can absolutely understand the logical chain which causes someone to make threats towards Destiny.
Do you feel that's justified?
So I mean, like, so to be clear, the argument that you've given me is valid, but to be clear, this syllogism could be given for literally anything. Like, here's the problem with this syllogism, is like, I feel like I could theoretically plug this into two different groups that would become incompatible in society. So for instance, if you say, premise one, that Muhammad provides like this clear, obvious like example for how we should act, like I could theoretically provide like Jesus here, or whatever, I don't know what the main prophet Jewish people care about or whatever is, right? But like I could plug that person in there. And then for number two, where we talk about how your second part of your premise two, that mocking the prophet has no benefit, right? There's no reason to do that. Somebody might consider worshiping another god as being a vain act that is mocking, you know, their true god or their true prophet. Theoretically, I could poise these two syllogisms against one another, where they're equivalent, but they just have different like stand-in figures for who the prophet is in prophets 1 or 2. And then in that case, now I've generated I've generated internally valid conclusions on both sides that now pits religious groups against each other in like violent holy wars. That's not acceptable to me. Yeah.
Sure, but that's why I specifically talked about mocking. What goal does mocking have other than to ridicule? There is no
well,
goal.
I mean, like, it depends on how you define mocking, right?
Yeah, well, and that's why Islamically you believe that you shouldn't, we can talk about the definition of mocking, sure, but Islamically you believe that we shouldn't mock anyone's gods. I think there's a phrase that specifically do not mock their gods in reference to the pagans, specifically because of this. Yeah, you shouldn't mock anyone's gods.
Okay. I mean, if you want to say that mocking is only making fun of, I feel like I've heard the phrase in religious context is like making a mockery of, could be like worshiping a false idol or worshiping another god. If you want to narrow that down in terms too, then I mean, again, I guess I can accept that your syllogism is internally valid. Obviously, I'm going to fight on the soundness of it because I don't agree that Muhammad is a fucking whatever. But I would still reject that this is like a syllogism that should be embraced in society. But if you're to back up, I'm sorry, if you're only making the claim that the person isn't fragile, I also I would also fight on those grounds, because I think that if we're going to argue over the fragility of somebody, we're probably going to be talking about the soundness of an argument, not the validity, because you can make a ton of valid arguments that would make it so essentially nobody is fragile, right?
Sure, so we can discuss the soundness, and you might potentially, and you probably might, come to the conclusion that Muslims may still be considered fragile from your perspective. But I think if anyone can, that argument is not necessarily to you. It's an argument is, if anyone can understand that and can reason with it at all, that's when Muslims shouldn't be considered as irrational.
Well, it's not about being irrational, but I'm saying that the reason why nobody should consider this argument is because then, again, by this argument, nobody is fragile. Right? A trans person that gets misgendered and then wants to kill people, well, they're not being fragile. Like, when trans people are made fun of, it makes them kill themselves, right? So I could construct a syllogism showing that making fun of trans people leads to suicide. You know,
so
there are
therefore
people
you
that
should make fun of trans people, sure.
Yeah, and that like people aren't fragile. But like again, I could construct a syllogism to make nobody fragile. Like literally nobody will be fragile at that point. So it kind of defeats the purpose of the word. Right.
Please explain that again, how no one will be fragile.
Okay, give me an example.
I can understand how everyone might be fragile, but
well, no, give me an example of like who could be considered fragile ever. Like for instance, let's say I go online and
Black
let's
people?
say, sure. So let's say that, so let's say that I say something like, oh, like, you know, fuck rap. I hate rap and the black people that made it. And then somebody online is like, oh no, fuck you. I'm gonna kill you for saying that. And I go, oh, well, you sound pretty fragile. That person could theoretically argue, well, black people have been under attack in the United States for a long time. I feel like our lives are constantly under threat by white culture and by police. And by you engaging in criticism of us that's baseless and just a mockery, I feel like it puts us at threat. Therefore, no, I'm not being fragile. Like, this represents a real threat to me.
I think you're missing premise one. Premise one says that, you know, that a Muslim, that the Prophet Muhammad is central to the Islamic faith. If if someone believed that a black person believed that rap was central to being a black person, then that reaction, that fragility might have more merit to it.
Well, it might. It doesn't necessarily have to be that the rap is central. I'm just saying that for premise one, it's just the idea that like making fun of any part of like black culture is necessarily like attacking all black people or something.
I want to ask, do we not think mockery, and this is a little bit of an aside, but I am curious, do we not think mockery serves a purpose? Mockery absolutely, in my opinion, would serve a purpose. Things that, some things deserve to be mocked. Some things should be mocked because mockery tends to make them less powerful. It tends to diminish their standing in society. Certain views are absolutely things that I would mock, and I would hope others would mock too and make a mockery of. When we make things a mockery, we take away their power in a lot of ways. And I can understand, right, while you wouldn't want your belief structure or religion mocked because it does take away the power, we could imagine scenarios where there are other groups like Nazism or fascism or whatever that, yeah, that should be mocked because we absolutely want to take away power from them. What about you, Torontos? What do you think? Do you think mockery serves a purpose, or?
I mean, other than to disrespect and ridicule and inflame people, then I don't see any other use for mockery, but I would love to know.
Oh, I think there's a great purpose for mockery. Yeah, it's funny as fuck.
Yeah, but no. Other than saying that it's funny, other than saying
humor
that
is a really big part of our lives.
What other justification is there for you posting what you did?
None. It's just funny as.
So you're telling me you just woke up one day and decided, you know what? I'll decide to post this. I think it's hilarious.
We're getting an echo from you.
Me?
I apologize.
Is that the only reason that you did it?
Yeah, basically, it was hilarious. You
said it yourself. Not because
you chuckled for it, right?
Because I couldn't fucking believe it. And I'll tell you why I couldn't believe it. Because I know you understand the consequences that come from disrespecting Islam. You've made fun of Sneeko for it. You've made fun of your friend for it.
Whoa, hold on. Let's be clear. No, yeah, I made fun of Sneeko for backing off, not for making fun of Islam.
Yes,
I made fun of
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
You made fun of him because he backed off since people gave him a hard time for his mockery of the prayer, and he did the whole panel with the 3 Muslims and Young Don, and you made fun of him because ever since then, when the topic of Islam comes, he turns into a pussy. He doesn't even ask the logical questions that any Muslim would ask. So you knew the consequences that come from mocking Islam. So even with the knowledge that you had, you still went ahead and you did what you did. But all of a sudden, once you faced the consequences, you turned into a pussy and you started to cry about Elon and how nobody's getting banned for coming at you. Now, how does that make any sense?
How does it not make sense? I don't think just because.
Where's the accountability in that?
What do you mean accountability? I don't think the accountability for making fun of some religious people is that like people can make death threats that are against the TOS. I was just curious how nobody got banned. Yeah.
Make this make sense for me. If I saw 10 motherfuckers get smacked for saying the N-word, for example, or the S-word, whatever the right, and then I joined in line, knowing fully well each and every person that said it got smacked for it, and then I said it, do I not deserve to get smacked? Just off of principle. Just off of principle.
No, I would say
absolutely.
No. But I don't believe in like violence for words. That's not a thing that I.
Do you never? Is that a principle, fundamental, axiom that you stand by?
I mean, assuming we're not talking like making threats or something. Yeah.
No, we're talking pure mockery.
Yeah, for
the
mockery.
So where does harassment factor into this? Where does an insult become harassment? And why is a harassment?
An insult can become
harassment.
An insult can become harassment very quickly, but I don't think you can respond to harassment with violence.
Ever?
I mean,
well, no, I mean, I'm sure we could.
We wouldn't even.
Kratos, you got.
Wait,
You gotta let him respond. Destiny's been addressed. Let Destiny respond. You will have your say. I promise.
Yeah, I'm sure in good faith I could probably think of, like, if there's some kid that's getting surrounded by like 4 people like outside a bus stop every single day and they're constantly insulting whatever, then maybe like I'm sure that we can think of some egregious forms of harassment if I'm being like super good faith, or maybe I could understand like a violent reaction, but in general, no, I don't think you ever respond to harassment or mockery with violence. No.
So we can agree. So it's not a principle that you have. It's not an axiom. You can respond with violence in some respects.
There might be some, if I'm being super good faith, but generally no.
You don't believe that you should respond with violence to any sort of speech, damn near all the time, if not like 100% of the time,
Well,
right?
we could think of some speech, like if somebody's like doing like a call to violence, for instance, or somebody's doxing.
Not a call to not a call to violence, not doxing. Like I said, like fucking degenerate, disgusting, heinous things.
No, degenerate, disgusting, heinous things should not be responded to. Yeah.
No, now hold on.
Deep fake
when
porn
I told
of
you,
my child, my wife.
deep fake porn of your child.
Both of you.
Sorry.
Okay, stop.
No, okay, okay, I won't say it again. Okay,
You're physically incapable of stopping. I have to stop you, and this can't go on. Okay. I don't like to hit the mute button, but I will. Anyway, finish your question to Destiny, but then you've got to let Destiny answer. Okay. Go ahead.
Is Destiny an affirmative action, and is he black? Okay, you gotta speak up for him every 10 seconds. He's a grown boy, okay? He's a big boy. Anyways, the man said that he wouldn't even lay a finger on the dude that would do such a thing. Now, last time I said kill, right? And I could understand how, like, somebody could justify not killing. But you're telling me that even if somebody were to do that, you would not even lay a finger on them.
No, we have a legal system for that. It's how society's supposed to work. That's what makes us civilized and not savages.
But if the legal system does not respond,
no, Destiny,
you're comfortable in doing so, right? You're comfortable. Because when they didn't respond to the DDoS,
what do you think?
The DDoS and all
The
that shit,
DDoS
then
thing wasn't somebody just harassing you. It was somebody cutting off my income. They were causing me material harm.
Yeah, but you... Okay, you're telling me it's not harmful to have that type of shit
Material, money, property, stuff is being lost.
That's the only thing you give a f about?
When it comes to responding with violence, yes. The only other thing to care about is your ego, which I don't think you can respond to with violence.
How the f is it? Okay, how the f is that example egotistical in any way?
Okay, Uzmark, go ahead.
Yeah, but Destiny, but how do you deal with the fact that your opinion is actually a minority view? Your opinion, your view is subjectively your own, but it's an extremist one. When you look online and when you look at research done on people's opinions on free speech, America, I think, is one of only a handful of nations in which majority of people think that insults and mocking other people's religion should be allowed.
Thanks.
Like, how do you?
I love this country.
Like,
you're asking me how do I score the fact that my country is very extreme when it comes to freedom of speech?
Okay.
I love it. That's
so
one of my
would you
favorite things
stand
about
by
this
the
country.
accusation that 70% of people are uncivilized and savages? If that's your characterization, that responding with physical violence, be that by someone's own individual hands or by the state apparatus, is uncivilized and savage, wouldn't then 70% of the world population be savage?
I don't know how I would judge them based on my country's standards, right? When you're in a different country, you react in a different way. If I went to like fucking the UAE or Saudi Arabia and I'm supposed to wear some goofy fucking like getup or whatever, I'd do it as a respect for the culture because I'm visiting their country. It's not my country anymore. I don't have a right to say how they run their shit, right? I'm probably not gonna suck any dicks in fucking Dubai because I don't want to get thrown off a. Never mind. But like I'm just saying like in general, like when I'm in another country, when I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I know I was gonna show you that guy. I'm sorry. I'm just saying that I would respect their thing, but in my country, we have the right for things like hate speech. And if you think that you could be violent over that, then yeah, I think that's savage because that's my country and these are my rules in my area. Yes.
Because Twitter operates off of the rules in your country, right?
Because what?
Because Twitter operates off of the rules in your country, right? Twitter has to answer to fucking free speech fucking
okay, so if someone... Wait, I want to ask a question. So if someone in another country reacts physically to, I don't know, whatever it be, mockery and insult, whatever, if someone in another country in which the laws of the state allow that to happen, are they then not savage and not uncivilized?
There's probably going to be like some fundamental like ethical principle that I'm going to say is savage no matter what.
That's what I'm getting at.
Sure.
That's what I'm getting at. It seems like you're appealing to legality and then putting to your own personal philosophy whenever it suits you.
Well, there are going to be some things that I think transcend countries. Would mocking somebody's religion, I think I would universalize that. I would say if you mock somebody's religion and then somebody attacks you for it physically, yeah, I would always consider that to be, we can say
but
savage.
Then how do you deal with the fact that you're in a minority view?
Worldwide, I would just think I'm better than a majority of people, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. But then can you see how using your own personal minority and...
Well, not personal.
You could even...
Careful, not personal. This is like a Western minority country, so Western, yeah.
No, don't use the word Western, because when you look at it, Germany,
How about America?
Poland...
Use America.
Okay, I would say
yeah,
America.
America-centric. Okay, I could... how would... Okay, you're using your personal chauvinistic, I would even go as far as to use that word, personal chauvinistic moral philosophy to judge the reaction of Muslims and people worldwide. Like, does that? Can you not see how that can be like perceived as Islamophobic?
If this is what it means to be Islamophobic, I don't care about that label. I'll be Islamophobic. I don't care. I'm fine with that. If I have to respect somebody's right to get violent, if you mock their religion, and not respecting that makes me like Islamophobic, I'll be Islamophobic. I'm okay with that.
And by the way, remember, it doesn't hurt this in his pockets to be Islamophobic, but God forbid you label him as an anti-Semite. Then all of a sudden he's gonna switch up, because that would then affect his fucking pockets.
Careful, anti-Semite usually implies hatred of Jewish people. I don't hate Muslims. I think I even made a tweet clarifying that. And I don't think, you can go through my tweets, but I don't think I've actually ever attacked Muslims. I think I'm usually shitting on Muhammad, his doll-playing wife, and then the Kaaba or whatever. I don't think I'm actually saying, oh, Muslims suck. I hate Muslims. They're dirty people, like Arabs are. Like Ben Shapiro made that tweet about how Arabs live in dirt or whatever, right? I don't think I've said anything like that. So when you say I'm Islamophobic, I'm very specifically just shitting on the religion. I'm not attacking the people.
Is it? Tweets, just real quick, one of the tweets, do you have the tweet up? Uzmark, are you about to read it? Because I'll let you read it.
No, you can read it. But I was going to ask Destiny a question, but sure, go ahead.
No, ask your question while I get it up, because I do want to ask Destiny about one tweet where I think I'm going to be clear, but I think you did call Muslims violent and fragile.
He did, yes.
Read me the exact.
No, he's going to say only the ones that fucking hit you with the death threats.
I can pull up the tweet, but what he said was.
Oh, if you are making threats because someone
there you go.
online, you are fragile and violent.
Yeah, I'm okay. I stand by that.
But he can. You is like it's ambiguous, right? He's not necessarily talking about Muslims, so fair enough.
And by the way,
wait. Hold on. To be clear, that I don't think that sounded ambiguous at all. That sounded incredibly crystal clear. Am I missing something? Can you read that tweet again?
It clarified then for me.
Hold on. Let me. Which tweet are you talking about? Yeah, read me the tweet.
If you are making threats because someone is posting a picture online, you are fragile and violent.
Yeah, I stand by that tweet.
By the way, says the same man that said if you question historical facts, right, when it comes to World War II and certain things that happened in World War II, that would make you anti-Semitic. You just said anti-Semitism is when you hate Jewish people. But I specifically remember you saying this to Sneeko, that you would be an anti-Semite because of certain questions that could incite hate towards Jews. Or am I misquoting you here?
You're conflating a few things. I think asking questions about World War II is totally fine. Even asking questions about the Holocaust is totally fine. The problem is a lot of that line of questioning becomes anti-Semitic because it's not like, oh, I've got valid questions about the Holocaust, I'm wondering. It's, oh, the Holocaust didn't happen the way that people said it does, and the only reason we think that is because Jewish people control society and they're trying to use that to make us feel bad for them so they can run the world, right? That second line of questioning. Yeah.
Sure, and could you not see how your fucking humor, quote unquote, how your jokes about Islam is the same exact thing that Islamophobes that wish harm on Muslims in certain nations such as Myanmar, such as India, they use the exact same type of humor that you do, because I've seen it, I've interacted with those people, and how it could lead to actual crimes against Muslims.
No.
Could you not see the connection there?
No.
How? So by simply, okay, so
Kratos, stop. Kratos, can you tell us the connection? Can you explain to all of us listening, paint it crystal clear for us, what is the connection between jokes such as Destiny made and actual violence or crimes against Muslims? Please, paint that picture for me.
As Uzamark stated, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in the center of our faith. And you say alayhi salatu wasalam, come on. He's in the center of our faith, right?
Does he like get mad if you don't say that every time? Or I'm sorry.
No, I say it every time. By the way, I only have to say it once.
No, you don't. You only have to say it once.
Okay.
You only have to say it once, but I say it every time, specifically because I'm around you. Because you're the fucking demon, okay?
Okay, I'm just checking.
Here it is, right?
Is he a snow bunny thing?
Jesus Christ! What?
This right here is a vanilla gorilla. I don't trust him, right? I gotta be careful. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
By the way, if I made any kind of comment towards you, you'd lose your mind, dude. Your turban would come flying off your head if I say
Make
something
all
like
the
that.
again.
Sorry, go ahead.
So you're such a considerate person. You wouldn't hurt my feelings. Of course you are. I've seen your Twitter page.
Thanks.
But here's the thing, right? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in the center of our faith, right? He's in the center of our faith. You disrespect him. You paint him in a negative image. You paint him in a way that lowers his image in the world. You make it much more comfortable for people to start disrespecting Islam as a whole. And we see it in the West. We see it with Christians openly depicting Jesus in very disrespectful ways. And how Christianity itself has started to crumble, and why, and this is a fact that Destiny fucking despises and hates, why there's an incredible amount of conservatives and an incredible amount of red people / manosphere people that are embracing Islam. Now, of course, are quite a fucking few of them absolute grifters and are doing it only for clout, yes. But there's a great amount of people in the West. In fact, the fastest growing religion in the world is Islam, right? And he hates this embrace of Islam. And this embrace of Islam would become weaker if you start depicting our Prophet in the ways that he did.
So, just curious.
That is why.
Do you think that things like killing the journalists or the comic people at the Charlie Hebdo place, or murdering that one teacher who showed the picture of Muhammad, do you think that these things are strengthening Islam or weakening Islam? Just curious.
I don't think that they're doing
impossible
either.
to prove.
How could I tell you that they're doing
That's impossible to prove, but you think it's easily possible to prove that by me showing a diamond pickaxe mining the Kaaba, that's actually directly causing harm?
But to clarify, there's no issue, no real fundamental issue with you posting meme pics of the Kaaba. The issue is specifically and quite concentrated on the Prophet itself. You can joke about the Kaaba, you can joke about X, Y, Z, but the issue specifically comes with the Prophet. And to go to your earlier point, it's impossible to say. It's impossible to say whether, if mocking the Prophet was allowed historically through 1,450, 1,500 years, however long it's been, if mocking the Prophet was allowed, whether that would have corrupted the faith.
Well, it seems like we can mock Jesus and all these other things, and Christianity seemed to be a pretty strong religion for a long time.
No. Actually, by 2050,
you think Christianity
Islam
is
will
cocked
be.
or whatever?
It is. By 2050, Islam is going to be the most dominant world faith. Islam is only one of two, only one of two faiths that is growing, not just by birth rates, but by conversions. There's a net gain in conversions. So if we're using that barometer as as the threshold for whether this Islamic structure and jurisprudence in regard to mocking the Prophet is valid, or if it has merit, if it works, it seems to be yes. So I don't know, but
is that the reason why, or is it because Islam is in countries with way more fucking people that can be converted and everything else?
No, it's
are there a lot of people? Are there a lot of people?
It's growing.
Are there a lot of
it's
people in the
growing
United States that are converting to Islam?
Yes.
Yeah, if you look at Pew Research, it's one of, I think there's Muslims and certain pagan religions. I think maybe I can find the thing for you. There's Muslims and one pagan religion that is growing through conversion.
Just Googled real quick. So 2018, a Pew Research survey found that Islam gains about as many converts as it loses in the U.S.
No, I saw a Pew Research that found that there was 3 million net gain.
Okay.
If I can find it.
But that's just from 2018, so maybe yours is...
Perhaps.
Recent, I don't know. I don't have any of these studies at my fingertips, but I think let's go. Let's just surmise.
Actually, Pew Research 2020.
Karantos, please.
Sorry, they were sounding goofy. I'm sorry.
Karantos, you are physically incapable. Okay. I will have to, I'll have to take measures. But for the purposes of the discussion, let's just grant that. Let's just grant that Islam is one of the fastest growing religions. Do you think
I can post it in the chat if you want.
Sure. Do you think that's that is enough in and of itself to justify its existence or justify its rules? Because it's succeeding, it must be that its rules are the reason why. Do you think
it shows that the rules are effective.
Does it though? Right? Or is it effective in spite of the rules? Is it effective in spite of these rules that if you otherwise didn't have, it would be even more effective? I just don't find that compelling. That's all.
Let me answer you first, Wick. One of the biggest reasons, if you were to look, and of course this was anecdotal, I'll give it to you, right? But if you were to look at the reason why a lot of people are converting to Islam, one of the things that they would tell you is that in spite of society pushing you one way, which is by the way the complete opposite way in which Islam stays in, right? Islam does not change. Islam does not fall. Islam does not deviate from what it was 1,400 years ago, from what the Prophet got himself. Islam is still the same religion, right? And in fact, if you were to look at Christianity today, and by the way, there's nobody on this fucking call that is more knowledgeable about Christianity than Destiny himself, as he grew up Christian.
Wait, no.
If you were to ask, what you also did?
I was a missionary for 2 years back in the day.
Okay, so you're telling me when you see transgender pastors, you're telling me that is 100% in line with the Christian faith and teachings.
But you're doing the no true Scotsman thing, right? Because there are Muslims in the United States that are accepting of gay people. I think Muslims are more accepting of gay people than the general U.S. population. But you're gonna say, well, those aren't real Muslims, right? So
no, I'm not. No. First of all, I will not say that. But second of all, I would say find anything in the deen itself, in Islam, that justifies their position. Their position is taken on because of the society that they live in. That is a liberal take. That is not an Islamic take. They cannot justify it using Islam. They can't.
I'll put it this way, Wick. Islam is one of the, if not the only growing religion in the world. It is going to become the most predominant religion by 2050, and it is the, if not one of the only religions that has such a strict adherence to making sure that the faith is not corruptible, and such a strict adherence to its own internal laws. Like you can't say causatively that one caused that B caused A or whatever. You can't say causatively for certain, but there's a correlation there.
This is what I would say, and this is actually what I bet is what's probably going on. Is most Western countries are predominantly Christians, and most Western countries are probably becoming more and more secular, especially across Europe. As nations become more developed, as people gain access to more things like knowledge and science, they tend to become more secular over time. So in these countries, Christians are probably losing lots of followers. I know it's happening massively in the United States, and I know that even Europe, especially places like Scandinavia, are way more secular than the United States. Now in other countries, especially countries in Africa, especially countries in the Middle East, where there's more conflict, where there might not be necessarily as much development, you probably still have people that are joining the faith, or you probably still have people that are having more children or are being Islamic. And then in the United States, you're probably always going to have more people converting away from Christianity than converting towards Christianity, because I think 60% of Christians, or 60% of you are still Christians. So of course those numbers are always going to be going down, and you only have to pick up a few Muslims to make net gains in the United States. That would probably be my guess. I could think of
But there's
data
net
points
gains for Muslims worldwide, not just in the United States.
Yeah, but listen, this is what I'm saying. Let's say there's 1 million people in the United States. I mean, 900,000 are Christian, 500 are Muslim. Like, if you gain 500 Muslims and lose, 10,000 Christians, that's a huge gain for Muslims in the United States. That's what I'm saying. The United States is majorly Christian, so of course any gain to Islam in the United States is going to be like a net gain to Muslims.
I'm not talking just about the United States. I'm saying there's net gains through conversions worldwide. I'm not talking just this United States.
Yeah, but again, when you say worldwide, like all of the West that was largely Christian, those people are like leaving Christianity en masse, right? Very few of them are probably converting to Islam, and most of them are probably becoming secular. That'd be my guess.
But this osmosis that you're talking about can go both ways. Why doesn't it seem that Muslims are converting to Christianity?
I don't think anybody's converting. Well, there might be some Muslims converting to Christianity, but you're going to lose them in the overall numbers of people that are leaving Christianity, right? Because there are fewer Muslims in these countries than there are Christians. If you've got 1 million Christians and 100,000 Muslims, if 20,000 Muslims convert to Christianity, but 50,000 people leave the Christian faith, even with Muslims converting to Christianity, you're still having an outflow from Christianity because it's the predominant religion. That's like a statistical artifact.
True. Yeah, well, I guess we're going to have to see. I'm going to wait until 2050 to see how the projections...
Also, keep in mind that if this is true, if what you're saying is true, you've actually given me like a really powerful argument for why I should be going harder on Islam in my tweets, because I don't want more people becoming Muslim, becoming Islamic. I think it's like a moral wrong.
Why,
so, because I don't think I agree with any of the core tenets of most of these religious faiths, especially in regards to social issues, regards to like how women ought to be treated, with regards to how some of the more fundamentalist police are ran in some of these countries and their legal systems, with regards to like LGBT or social issues. Like, these are things that I don't consider good. I wouldn't want more people being Islamic and having these beliefs.
Do you think
we can talk about any of these issues if you want.
Do you think Islam is a violent religion?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I don't like to when you talk about things like Christianity, Islam, when you got like fucking like billions of followers. I don't like to say the whole religion is violent. If Islam as a religion was violent, then there would be terrorist attacks hourly all across the world. It would be over. It'd be fucking like all over in Europe and shit. But instead, we only see like a handful generally, or like I would be dead by now if Islam was truly like a religion of violence, right? So I won't paint anything with such a broad brush ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Destiny, I want to ask you a question.
Pussy!
Destiny, is it wrong to mock someone's parents
Hold on 1 second.
unsolicited?
Karatos, you're echoing too. Please stop that.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
It's through Uzmark's shit, by the way. I'm not echoing.
No, your thing's lighting up.
I don't think it's mine.
Yeah, it's not. It's Karatos. You're the one that's lighting up. Go ahead. Ask your question.
Yeah, Destiny, is it wrong to mock someone's parents unsolicited?
Is it wrong?
Trying to appeal to his morality. He doesn't give a shit.
Well, let me
I'm
just think about it. Is it wrong? Is it morally wrong to make fun of somebody?
Someone's parents unsolicited. Let's use that example.
I'd say probably. Yeah, it's probably mean. It's probably wrong. Sure. I'll give you a yes on that one.
Okay. Why?
Probably being mean to people is probably wrong. You shouldn't be mean to people. It's not like a moral good for sure. If anything, it's wrong or neutral.
Okay, so then can you see where I'm going with this? Can you see how it's a moral wrong then to mock the Prophet?
Sure, it could be a moral wrong to mock the Prophet. We're not talking about whether or not something is right or wrong. We're talking about whether you ought to respond to it with violence and whether or not that's morally acceptable. So for instance, I might say it's wrong to mock somebody's parents. That doesn't mean I think it's ethically acceptable to respond to somebody mocking your parents by being violent to them.
So if someone's committed a moral wrong, doesn't that entail then that there should be some comeuppance or some
Yeah,
sort
sure.
of
But that
retaliation?
comeuppance can be making fun of that person. That comeuppance could be not talking to that person. Like, it doesn't have to be violence. There's plenty of ways that we punish activity. Like, for instance, do we agree that telling lies is wrong? Right?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, of course. And then my next question is going to be like, should we hurt somebody for telling a lie? Do they have to get like physically punished for it? Well, probably not.
You see, it depends on like someone's own personal philosophy. But
well, that question is.
I don't think, we can talk about this if you'd like, because you seemed interested in this. I don't think, philosophically, like should be much of a distinction made between emotional hurt and physical hurt, and I don't think it's necessarily wrong to respond to emotional hurt with a physical retaliation.
Can I jump in here for a minute?
Yeah.
The reason we have this disagreement, we've disagreed with this before, is because it's very hard to measure emotional hurt, whereas it's pretty easy to measure material hurt. You can measure how much money someone has lost. You can measure the value of the destruction to their property that you've done. You can measure how much damage you've given them in medical bills. All sorts of ways to measure these things. Whereas emotional hurt, right, would not hurt me at all, right? Mocking my parents, mocking me, mocking my teeth and stuff like that wouldn't bother me at all emotionally. I'm pretty emotionally stable like that.
So
However,
what
there
you're
are very people, just let me finish, there are people who, if I simply looked at them wrong, would be deeply emotionally hurt by that. We cannot use people's emotions to measure harm, right? Or to mete out punishment for that, because it's just so unstable. Like there's no real level of measurement.
Yeah, so what you're talking about is like practicality, on the level of practicality, right? First, you're jumping a step ahead. First, I just want to talk in the levels of principle. Principally, if we could know, let's say we were like an omniscient being, or we're fucking 2,000 years in the future, you can plug some shit in someone's brain and you can understand clearly what is going on, what level of emotional hurt they're feeling. Philosophically, I don't think it's wrong to respond physically to emotional hurt. Can we agree on that, Wick?
No, again,
principle.
I think there's a fundamental difference. I do. I think that again, they're just different things, and we can't equate them and make them the same, conflate them as I think you were doing. So I disagree on principle. That's all. I don't know what the rest of you think, because I want to get Karatos in here. Karatos, do you think that the emotional harm and physical harm are the same on principle?
I 100% believe that if somebody hurts you emotionally, you fully have the right to respond physically. Because, by the way, the vast majority of times where people are hurt is because more times than not, they were hurt emotionally to begin with. Somebody antagonized them in one way or the other, and they responded physically. that is how most of the world operates to begin with. And second of all, a lot of the times our emotions and the way that we feel inwards and in our minds manifests physically. That is the little reason why people like you, Wick, and people like Destiny are completely comfortable with people that have mental illnesses, that view themselves as something that they're not, and that actually go through surgeries and completely change their outward appearance, their physical body, to match with what's on the inside. So now if you're saying that you shouldn't conflate the two, what would you say in those instances? Would you say that somebody who, let's say, is a male, a born male that transitions to female, would you say that they shouldn't change anything?
No one is doing that to them. They are doing it to themselves, and it's a fundamentally different thing. They are not having it done unto them. They are choosing to take upon that and do it to themselves.
So you're telling me if somebody is mentally ill and they're fucking cutting themselves, you shouldn't intervene whatsoever because that is something they're doing to themselves?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's a fundamentally different thing than someone else taking their arm and cutting it.
But how is it fundamentally different if they're both mental illness? Unless you don't believe that it's mental illness, that somebody genuinely believes that they're the other gender or the other sex, which they are not.
I'm not here to debate trans.
I think we're getting a bit sidelined here. But Wick, I don't believe.
It doesn't make any sense when you say that you can't conflate the emotional and the physical. You do, and you justify it.
But we don't. You don't need to go to transgenders to prove that, right? We don't need to go to transgenders.
But it shows the hypocrisy in his logic because he 100% justifies it when it's what his people completely approve of. He justifies it.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Yes, he justified. I'm sorry. Did I miss something? Did Wick justify violent responses to emotional pain? Did Wick ever justify?
No, he's arguing against that. I'm trying to do that. Wait. Let's take the most extreme example, right? Let's say your mother's dead, right? She died in a horrific car accident. God forbid. Died in a horrific car accident. Let's say some psycho online got the picture. Somehow they leaked, right? He prints them off, and you're grieving. He stands outside of your house every day when you come back from work, talking about, oh, look at your mum, look at her guts all splattered on the floor, her head, like the most horrific shit possible. Do you really think it is not justified for someone to walk up to that guy and give him a fucking punch in the mouth?
I don't.
You really think? Never.
I don't think it's justified. Yep. But you're not going to get me on this, so I'm pretty consistent about this.
They both are. They'll just tell you I don't care.
No, Destiny actually. No, Destiny. I don't think Destiny agreed with that. I think Wick is more extreme on this than Destiny.
But
I mean, like, I think that you can make argument. Like, I'm saying this out of like real, like, insane good faith because we're talking about hyper edge cases here. I think that you can make arguments for like a very personal type of relentless harassment. Like if somebody's standing outside and they're screaming at you every single day with a picture of your like dead child, like holding it up and screaming at you, and then you could probably. But I actually think that in the United States is probably illegal. Like that would actually probably be considered harassment because you're moving beyond just like normal speech at that point. But like where we are many levels removed from just shitting on somebody's like choice of religion on Twitter at this point. But
yeah, no, so it's a matter of degree, right?
So let me ask you, Uzmark, right?
Yeah.
Uzmark. Would you feel violence is justified in that same scenario instead of being outside my house every day? They simply posted a mean tweet about it. Do you think I should be justified to go to their house and beat them up for that?
No, I think there should be. So wait, hold on. No. Hold on. Yes, precisely. As I was going to say, there are levels, right? And we, as a society, I believe, come together and we can agree. As you said before, like it's difficult to practically enforce any sort of like physical repercussions to something emotional because it's so hard to measure. Well, I think we as a society can come together and we can agree rationally that X thing, Y thing should have X or Y physical response. For example, that dude on Twitter, perhaps he should get a fine.
No,
perhaps.
No.
No, but you're in the minority.
I will be your enemy in this. That is not okay to fine people for speech like that or to give them any kind of judicial punishment. The proper response is social censure.
That's what they do in England.
Why? But why is it wrong? He's intentionally causing harm. There is no motive. You can like quibble about, oh, maybe there's a reason why X, Y, Z. No, but if someone is intentionally and purely just wanting to cause you harm,
being mean
just wanting to
Twitter?
Being mean can fucking hurt. It hurts.
Sorry.
There is no.
I understand.
We have online harassment for a reason. People commit suicide over that shit.
And it can be bad, right?
But when it's
really bad,
they don't care though. That's the problem. Because it's something that you do onto yourself, right?
So someone is doing something bad, but there are no repercussions for that person. There is no like
You say no repercussions. I'm saying no legal repercussions. There's a difference between these statements. I think there should be repercussions. It should just not involve the legal system because that will be weaponized. That will be weaponized by the state to a politician, and we see this in the slap laws, anti-slap laws, and things like that, where politicians will sue the fuck out of reporters because that person hurt my feelings. They caused me harm for reporting on that thing I did, and so now I'm going to sue them into the fucking ground.
Sure,
and,
they can
and give them like legal ramifications for what they've done. This is why we have to keep speech away from the legal, like we, except for in extreme examples like threats to violence, immediate calls to violence, and things like that. I'm very against it. But we're moving away from the topic. We can still stay on this.
No, I think this is rather important actually because it goes to the heart of the discussion, really. So if, for example, I'm an individual and I'm being harmed by someone's tweet or someone's words, why can't I appeal to the state to intervene and help me? Why isn't it? It's the state's responsibility
You don't have to read that
protect.
person's tweet. You don't have to go around and seek out things in the world that offend you or upset you, and then ask the government to regulate those things. That's an insane position, in my opinion.
Why? If someone is out there intentionally trying to harm me, trying to do me harm, why isn't the state?
Because we have a greater value on people having the right to say the things that they want to say, even if some people might deem them offensive, more important than the right for somebody to avoid having hurt feelings. The reason why we have those same freedom of speech laws is the only reason why a religion like Islam can even exist in the United States, right? So I think that it's important to defend that principle of free and open speech, because we don't want people, I don't want Donald Trump telling me what I'm allowed to post on Twitter. You guys probably wouldn't want Biden or Obama or Hillary Clinton telling you what you're allowed to post on Twitter. I think that principle is probably worth protecting more than somebody's hurt feelings.
So what do we do then when we have two conflicting, fundamentally different positions philosophically? What do we do?
The intolerant one gets eliminated. That's what you do. You can't have people that exist in a liberal society saying that we can kill people for saying things that make us upset. That's fundamentally incompatible with a free and open society. You just can't have it.
Do you disagree, Krontos?
Of course I fucking disagree because he's the one who decided who's the tolerant and who's the intolerant one.
That's not true. I'm not saying anybody here should be attacked for their things they say on Twitter. You're the ones that are deciding that.
You're the one who went out of his way to purposefully, mind you, purposefully antagonize a whole bunch of people.
Good. I have that right to be antagonistic. That's my right as an American. Some people would say that you being Muslim is antagonistic towards them in the United States, especially post 9/11. People feel that way.
Last time I checked, you're not fucking Dikembe Mutombo. That is an incredible reach that you just did there. Because what you did and what somebody else who would just think my existence as a Muslim would be harmful to them are completely different. You purposefully went out there fully knowing that you want to antagonize people. If you're telling me that you just did it based off of humor, then tell me the humor in saying prepubescent be upon him.
Because it's fucking funny. It fits the what do you call the four letters or whatever?
So and it's funny to you.
It's more funny to a lot of other people too. Apparently,
humor.
It does pass as humor. It's pretty funny.
People.
So what do we do then?
The same ideology.
What do we do when we have someone such as Destiny? Or you could replace it with, I don't know, someone insulting anyone's parents online en masse. Let's say he's insulting thousands of people's parents en masse, causing harm en masse, and people don't have any avenue to, I don't know, address it. There's a harm being done. As Destiny, but as Destiny.
What do you think the block button is? There's an avenue. Like, oh, you don't want to see what someone says?
Why should they have to?
Boom. What?
You know what's insane? No, 1 second. No, wait. Before you guys go down this rabbit hole again, the fact that out of all people on planet fucking Earth, Destiny is the one who brings up pedophilia is fucking rich, by the way. I'm sorry. Like, I just want to stop there for a second. He's the same fucking man that knowingly platformed a fucking pedophile. And by the way, this is not according to me. This is according to him. What's his name? Max Carson, Mr. Girl. And you defended him day in and day out. But the moment that he came at your fucking ass, and the moment that he decided that he wants to fucking go through your life and reach out to every single person that you've known in the past fucking decade, that is when you suddenly decided to switch your tone on him and you decided to call him a fucking pedophile, a fucking rapist. But when you were friends, you defended him tooth and nail against every single accusation that was levied against him. So who the fuck makes you the arbiter of morality? Who the fuck makes you the person who knows right from wrong? Since when were you put in that position to tell somebody, no, you do not have the right to react in a way that I do not deem fit when I purposefully go out of my way to disrespect something that you hold closer to your heart than anything else on this planet? How the fuck does that make any sense?
Are we relitigating like every random thing that's ever happened in my life, or what?
No, because it
also,
has...
I don't think I've called it. I've never called Max a pedophile. Also, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that movie Cuties, if you're referring to that, wasn't that made by a Muslim woman?
Again, by the way, it was made by the exact Muslim woman that you would consider an ally in the West, that you would consider tolerant and liberal. That is the exact same type of Muslim that made that movie. A French woman, by the way, Elle to the fucking French, right? But here's the thing. Let me just say this real quick. I do not bring it up out of the blue. I bring it up to just show the fact that you, not only in the past year or two, but in the past decade, and by the way, as a 35-year-old man, you cannot get away with the argument of this was in the past, I changed. As a 30-year-old man, as a 27-year-old man, and mind you, I'm 23, and if I said the same type of fucking shit that you said in the past, you and your fucking people wouldn't want to see me anywhere online.
What do you think? What do you think I've said in the past? It's so beyond the fucking pale. What?
You said that child porn is justifiable, morally justifiable. Because your argument was that it stops people from offending.
Okay,
certain research shows the fact that
that wasn't my argument. You gotta learn to respond to each of these, so you can list them. But
in one conversation where I argued in favor of the age of consent, which I'm guessing you're probably opposed to, because it probably would cut off all of the marriages you approve of. In that conversation, we were having a discussion on whether or not there could be. Wait, what do you think the age of consent should be for marriage or consummation of marriage?
I believe the age of consent should be based off of whichever country that you're in.
Oh, okay. So what do you think the lowest should be? What do you think the lowest should be?
Follow the law. Follow the law.
So if the law of the land was 9 years old, would that be okay for you?
So you're telling me
if the law of the land was 9 years old, would that be okay for you? If the law of the land was 9 years old, would that be okay for you?
One single place.
If the law of the land was 9 years old, would that be okay for you?
A hypothetical that you just made up wouldn't make any sense, because in this day and age,
if the law of the land was 9 years old, would that be okay for you?
So you want me to answer? So you want me to give you a yes or no because that's what you're capable of comprehending?
Yeah.
No, I would say that no, because collectively as a society we have come together and we have acknowledged the fact that that is not what we are going to do in this day and age. And trying to use the whole presentism fallacy and trying to apply today's outlook on age of consent to 1,400 years ago makes you look fucking retarded. But you know what?
So then just to be clear. Just to be clear, then, you disavow like all forms of like child marriage and shit that might be happening in any other country in the world today, right? Yeah.
Today, absolutely, 100%. But let me ask you this real quick: what do you believe that? By the way, what a fucking retarded question! You fucking knew the answer to that. It's not like
I had no idea. I didn't know you were gonna come here and justify to me violence in exchange for tweeting funny pictures. I didn't know you were gonna do that today.
What sort of violence did I justify? I told you that if you talk shit, you deserve to get fucking banged. You deserve to fucking get one hit to the face. And I believe that applies to me and to anybody else that goes out of their way to be disrespectful in the name of humor.
Cool. I didn't know you were going to justify that, so I didn't know what your position was on child marriages.
Sure, but did I justify death threats? Because again, when you say violence, all of your fucking retarded fan base would confuse it with death threats that you've been receiving. Now, did I justify those?
I heard you loud and clear. You said getting punched in the face. I didn't think you were going to justify that, and you did. So I'm just asking your other positions. I was just curious. You don't have to get upset.
It's okay. Surprises, I should say. Let me ask you this real quick. I'm not upset, I promise.
One
more question, and we could go to Uzmark. Absolutely. What do you believe that the age of consent should be?
I think like 16 to 18 is probably okay. It's where most countries have it set.
So 16, and that's based off what? Just based off what other countries have it set?
Seems to be like a generally okay age for when a person is developed enough to understand the ramifications of sexual behavior.
So you're telling me a 16-year-old is fully capable of raising a child and is fully aware of the consequences of having sex out of wedlock?
I think you're old enough to have a general awareness, yeah.
Even
fully aware of all the consequences of everything. I mean, I don't even know if the average like 22-year-old is aware of that, but
yeah, and that's based off what? By the way, when you say they're generally aware, that's based off what? Is that your opinion, or is that any sort of research that has been peer-reviewed or anything of that sort, or is that just what you believe? Is that what you believe?
Are we asking for a source, Karantos? Are we gonna do that?
I'm just curious because this man worships sources and peer-reviewed studies, so I just want to know what comes from his heart and what comes from what another man has told him.
It means that that's generally like when a kid is like out of high school, when they're moving out on their own to go to college, when a person is generally, they've gone through puberty a little bit, they've had feelings and explore them with other teenagers or whatever. It's about in that age. It seems like what most countries agree on right now. So I'd say about 16 to 18, yeah.
And by the way, And again, you could tell me, hey, this was when I was a young 29-year-old. I completely changed my mind. But you've previously said, listen, people mature at different ages. People grow up at different ages. So would you 100% be comfortable with a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old that is fully mature, that is equally as mature to a 17, 18-year-old in this day and age? Would you be comfortable with them?
Theoretically, you could probably find 25-year-olds that aren't that comfortable, that probably could be having sex, and you could probably find 14-year-olds that are comfortable enough. Yeah, that's probably possible. But right now, we've got the law set in the United States at 18 years old because that's our hard cutoff.
I did not ask you. I did not ask you about the law, Destiny. Don't let him get away with it.
Stop.
You're being a pussy. You're being a pussy.
You've gone down this road. We're not.
He didn't fucking answer it. He didn't answer shit. I asked him. I didn't ask him what the law states. I asked him if there was a 13-year-old that is mature enough.
16 to 18, and he.
No. I asked him, and his explanation was because of maturity and such. And I asked him if there was a 13-year-old that exhibited those levels of maturity and understanding and was able to go out into the world on her own and do whatever that she needs to do. Would you be comfortable with her being married off to some 25-year-old and having a kid with him? I didn't ask about what the law states. I asked about his opinion. He didn't ask me about the law.
The problem is that we don't have a way. The problem is we don't have a way to determine that, right? We can't determine whether or not a person has reached that level of maturity because we don't have a sufficient battery of tests we can run somebody to figure it out. That's why we have the law set where it is. That's why the age of consent or the age of majority or signing contracts isn't done after taking a test. It's just kind of a blanket age. There are some people that probably can't consent to sex at 19, 20, or 21 or shouldn't be signing contracts, but that's just the rough age that we kind of settled as society for being proper.
Thank you. No, thank you very much for saying that. So you're basically admitting to the fact that it is just set there as a collective decision by the most of the world, and it actually doesn't make any sense for it to be.
I didn't say it didn't make any sense. I said that's about the age that kids are getting. Like, for instance, if we lived in a society
where you just said we can't test it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to talk. If we lived in an age where at 12 years old you were done with school and then you immediately go to a farm and you start farming and like raising families or whatever, I imagine the age of consent in that society probably would look a lot different than the age of consent today, where you're in high school till you're 18, right?
Okay. I'm having to mute every time.
No. Okay. Thank you. So why wouldn't you take that level of consideration for societies 1,400 years ago when it comes to the prophet?
Because I'm pretty sure the translation. Because I'm pretty sure the translation for the prophet Aisha was literally that she was a little girl that he played dolls with. The specific Arabic used to refer to her was that of like a small adolescent child, not just a mature person that was 9 years old. Number one, and number two, that word is important. And number two, people today try to use that to justify child brides, which I think is really fucking funny.
No. Okay, so great.
Stop. I want to let.
This is This is
yeah.
I just want to say one thing. I just want to say one thing to the prior conversation. Just one thing. You can't use one word, one phrase, one line from a hadith that she was playing with dolls to like somehow like indicate her moral like mental faculties. Like you get fucking 25-year-olds these days that play with dolls. Like it's a big thing. Like the doll community's deeper than you might imagine actually. So yeah, you can't use that. That's just. There is far too little evidence for us to try and like ascertain her mental state. Yeah, but,
no. I'm not just talking about the hadith that they're playing with dolls, but I'm pretty sure in Arabic the specific word used to refer to her was the word used to refer to like an adolescent child, not some like we would say, for instance, like I wouldn't say I married a little girl, I would say I married a woman. But that the Arabic used to refer to Aisha is the Arabic that you use to refer to little children. Not to an adult grown woman, not a matured woman, not a precocious woman.
I've never heard that, but I'll have to check that. I've never heard that.
Because he's talking
I've never heard that, to be honest. But,
but let me say this.
I'll inquire about that. No, but okay, go on. But then I want to say something.
We can move on. No, we can move on. Just last statement.
Stop. No, you can get to it after Uzmark. Uzmark's sitting here very patiently. He's been very respectful of the moderation team, so I'm going to give him a little extra time here. Go ahead, Uzmark.
No, I to wrap up kind of what we were talking about when we were the fundamental differences in freedom of speech. How do I pronounce your name, by the way, mate? Koranotos?
Just call me Q. Like Q ain't on.
Yeah, Q said a phrase that I found important. He said that Destiny and Wick, more so Wick to be honest, are acting as moral arbiters when it comes to this issue of violence in response to words, insults, however you.
And morality. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, they're acting as moral arbiters, right? And we're at a fundamental impasse. If Destiny or Wick say, no, it is fundamentally wrong to ever respond violently to a word, a phrase, or an insult, and another person say, oh, no, it is okay, there's nothing we can do, right? There's nothing we can really appeal to if it's a fundamental core belief. So I think it's important to point out, right, that the majority of people globally, worldwide, are not on Wick and Destiny's side, right? The majority, they are in the minority. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are in the minority. It's the extreme view, and so I think it's, as I said, chauvinistic, and it is insular in a way.
The white superiority complex right there.
It is superiority complex. It really is. There is no way to adjudicate whether one is wrong or right, other than appeals to majority. I believe when it comes to, like, if you're a moral anti-realist, if there is no fundamental basis to your
most
moral.
of my beliefs are better than the beliefs I do not hold. That's why I hold those beliefs. I hold those beliefs because I think they are better than the beliefs I have rejected. Yes, I mean that's
majority of
the same
people
with
think.
The majority.
No. Fundamentally different. No.
You hold beliefs that you do not think are better than other beliefs?
I hold, like, that's why I'm a divine command theorist, because I don't have to wade through all this moral anti-realism. I hold beliefs because I believe morality comes from God. I think that's the only way to adjudicate these fundamental differences in philosophy. Other than